Welcome in, everybody. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy to spend this time with you. And we are going to do a quick hello. And so I would love to start with you, and you can tell me who you are, what you do, and where everybody can find you. And let's start with OhLindsey.
Hi, my name's Lindsay. I'm a variety streamer, but I have recently, I say recently, it's been like over 2 years now, been dabbling in Souls games. I just finished Dark Souls 3, which is my final, like, first playthrough that I had left, and now I don't know what to do with myself. But I stream all sorts of things. I'm doing a what am I doing? Oh, I'm prepping for DLC now. I'm doing a strength playthrough for my first time. And I'm you can find me on Twitch. I'm really only active on Twitch. I haven't started YouTube or anything yet, but I'm OhLindsey over there. Or here, over here, I guess.
Yay! You're so great. I'm such a big y'all. I'm fangirling at everybody. I'm just such a big fan of everybody. So I'm like, yeah, woohoo! Oh my gosh, I love it. I love y'all. So okay, Jess, your turn. You're up.
Me. Okay, I'm Jess. I do a lot of Soulsborne stuff. I do a lot of Final Fantasy stuff. I've been going in on FF7 Rebirth lately, but yeah, I'm a big Soulsborne fan. I've played them all. Bloodborne's my favorite. I'm a Mikolash, and me and Lindsay actually have matching Moonlight Greatsword tattoos.
We do.
Which is new.
That
which
is so epic.
I think Lindsay listed this in her achievements, but we raised a lot of money for charity, and that was like a big milestone that we'd get matching swords or matching like Elden Ring or Soulsborne tattoos, and we decided.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's me. I stream on Twitch, mostly weeknight evenings. I post on YouTube. I post on TikTok. I tweet really stupid stuff all the time. It's awesome. And yeah, I guess that's me.
I don't think your tweets are stupid at all. I'm always in
I say that
endearingly.
I say that endearingly in a good way.
No, 100%. I absolutely adore it. I think that the first time that I saw one of your gaming moments, Jess, I was introduced to your content because of Final Fantasy.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, this is the passion. This is the gaming that I live for over here.
Yeah. I love that.
And I'm Sav. I mentioned just a second ago, but I'm the Wholesome singing Soulsborne streamer. I'm a Twitch Women's Guild member and mentor, and I am so passionate about helping to amplify and put a spotlight on marginalized voices. So I am very, very honored to be joined by such epic gamers today. And I have Pixi up next. Yes. In fact, we might need a little down on your mic. I think I can hear breathing. Sorry.
Can you actually? Is that better?
Yes, so much better. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm Pixi. This June, I would have been on Twitch for 5 years. So I've been streaming for 5 years now. I've always been a variety streamer, but I've played all of the FromSoftware Souls games, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Sekiro. And I think over the past year and a half, almost like Lindsay, like I've kind of started to niche myself a little more into the Souls and Souls-like genre. I recently completed a no leveling run of Lies of P. I played that game for months. I've been obsessed. I'm still obsessed. I want to do another challenge run soon. But I've also I'm going to be preparing for the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC as well. I'm going to be doing a fresh, clean Elden Ring playthrough, and like Souls is just my passion. Dark Souls 3 is my favorite one, always.
I love that. And when do you stream?
I typically stream during the week. My times kind of fluctuate right now, but sometimes I'll be on around 10 a.m. Eastern, and sometimes I'm streaming 4 p.m. Eastern.
Love it. I love it. All right, we have PaigeTheWitch.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Hello, everyone. I have just kind of started getting into Souls games over the past couple of years. I normally, streamed a lot of RPGs. Skyrim was like my most played game, and so when Elden Ring came out, I was like, I think I need to actually go tackle a Souls game for the first time. So I played through that whole game, and then I started, playing Bloodborne and some different ones, Wolong, Lies of P, and I'd love to start, branching out into actually like the Dark Souls series that always scared me a lot. So I think it's about time for me to give that a try. So,
You
yeah.
can do it.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And what days do you usually stream on?
I stream just kind of most days. I was streaming kind of Monday through Friday, but it's kind of just been, I don't know, whichever days I've been able to be here. But I mostly stream like around like in the evenings, late night, sometimes until, the sun rises, at least here in the US. So, yeah.
I love that. Hey, you got to protect that mental health.
You
Burnout is
know, like
real. It's important to know like when you should and when you shouldn't kind of like dial it back because like it's a constant job. I sometimes I make the joke that I traded a 9 to 5 for a 24/7. My boss could be kind of mean sometimes on me, but at least I get to make my own hours, and they're all the time. But really, no, I totally get that. So be sure, chat, check out the creators. If you can do command guess in the chat, it will pull up their Twitches, so be sure to check them out and give them a follow. And thank you again, everybody, for being here and supporting this cause. It's so important. It's crazy how the facts of how imbalanced it is for women in gaming. Even on this platform alone, I have some facts that I got from the 1000 Dreams Fund folks, and the top male streamers make more than the 25 of, or have a larger combined viewership than the top 25 female streamers. The top two. So if that tells you anything, and then there's only one woman in the top 500 top paid esports players. There was only, as of 2022, there was only one woman in the top 100 Twitch streamers. And our goal is to say, like, hey, look, we're here. Look at what we've done. Look at what we love. This is an open discussion about our experiences and centered around the Soulsborne genre, these games. Why FromSoft? What makes us love them? How does the challenge in the game reflect in real life? And so on and so forth. But I am absolutely over the moon, and I wanted to say thank you so much for the incredible donations that we've received so far for this fund. The 1000 Dreams Fund directly supports women in gaming, and we'll be able to see like the impact over the next year, which I'm super excited about. And I have to show you. Okay, so raise your hand if you're in the Twitch Women's Guild. Look at that! Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
love it.
Isn't that cool? I thought that was so cool. And that wasn't even like intentional. I'm serious. Like it's just so cool. I'm so happy to have all y'all here, because I think that it just really aligns with everything that we do. And as creators, I've always been a fan, but I've also, after this event and planning this event, I was able to do a deep dive and be like on a stalker level of y'all's content, and I adore it. I've been able to see the evolution throughout the journey. I think I mentioned something briefly to Paige during our tech check. I was like, man, it's so cool to see the first streams and how different they look from now. And so it's been, I think that anybody watching has such a treat to hear from you all and your expertise and your experience in this entire journey, because you've been through it. you know, and you've grown and you've evolved and each one of you has a unique take on not only the streaming experience, but also the games themselves. And something that we do share is the camaraderie that comes from the Soulsborne community, as well as the shared pain. We all, I think that, even there could be even like a little bit of love in the get good phrase, because it just means like, suffer like I did so you can learn like I did, right? But that all being said, I wanted to start out asking an icebreaker question just to kind of get the ball rolling, and I thought that we can keep with the left to right, stage left, stage right. Lindsay, would you like to start us out with saying, I wanted to know, what is your favorite in-game moment that you had in a FromSoft game?
Yeah, I was thinking about this. I was like, what could it be? And the thing that stuck out to me and that I couldn't stop thinking about was that moment in Bloodborne when I think it's after you beat Rom and you can finally see all of the amygdalas like on the buildings that have been there forever. And that like blew my mind. I was like, oh, this game is weird. This game is weird and I like it. So yeah, I think that I couldn't. I mean, there's also like, going down to Shifa River for the first time, but I think all of the Amy's on the building was like, oh, I like this.
You're like, am I okay? What did I just eat? Am I fine? Like, has this always been here? That's a great one. I mean, the revelation, and also that scene. Right when I totally agree with like having the insight of being able to see stuff, but right when you kill Rom, and then it goes to Yarnum, and you're and she's and then the sky, and then the bong. Oh, I don't know. Yeah. It's I have such a clear recall, I guess is the right word to say. Like whenever you mentioned that, I immediately could picture it in my head and just gave me goosebumps. What about you, Jess?
Yeah, I like Lindsay's. That's a really good one. But I think the one that sticks out to me is like, Bloodborne was my first Soulsborne game just because I loved the vibe, and I was like, I've always found this game to be like, it just like attracts me, and I didn't really know what it was. I was like, this is probably like a werewolf vampire game, and it was, until you go to the woods. And then you see an alien, and I was like, what kind of game is this? So that's like my favorite, like in-game, like what on earth moment. And that was when I also realized like, oh, I'm really gonna like this game. And I did, and it is still my favorite game ever. And then as far as like favorite moment of like playing, I think was beating Melania at level 1 for me. It took me like 20 hours or something. And that was like the most satisfied I've ever felt in the game fighting something. It was like, it was a good feeling.
Oh my gosh. You're mad. Absolutely insane. Yep. Yeah. We're all mad here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. And what about you, Pixi?
It might sound a little cheesy, but Dark Souls 3 was my first one. Like all these years ago, I kept hearing about these Dark Souls games. I'm like, why do people like these games? What are they? I wasn't a streamer at the time. But I remember, and Sav and I were talking about this a little bit during our tech check as well. I remember how much I sucked at the game and how hard it was just to get past the very first boss in the game. So as cheesy as it sounds, just beating the first boss after hours and hours of dying and suffering, like I was over the moon. I'm like, I can do this. And I think that day there was some kind of switch that flicked off in my brain that just said, I want more of that pain. I want more of that struggle, because that feeling of winning just, it surpassed every other really cool video game moment for me in my life up until that point. So it keeps me going for more, and that's why I've been trying to do more challenge runs, because I love that feeling of winning. Like it's unreal.
That serotonin rush that just hits you. No, absolutely. Did you? Which one was your first boss? Was it the crystal guy in the front, or was it good old Udix?
Yeah, I was talking about Gundyr.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, man. I think that moment of just whatever he just transforms, and you're just like, this is not normal. This is not just a soldier dude. What?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, you're like,
This abomination, yeah.
what's happening right now? I mean, there's so many like moments in these games that are just so much fun. I think that my personal like favorite moment from the FromSoftware games. I'm going to try not to be such a Bloodborne girl for today, because I'm such a stan that I'm just like Bloodborne, 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 and also Bloodborne, you know, all day. But I will say that if I had to exclude everything about that game, because it was my intro to FromSoft as well, and the whole reason I started streaming, but I would say it would be in Elden Ring, just walking out to Limgrave, and like after beating the Soldier of God and walking out, and it's just like that note hits, you know, from the music, and you're just like, you look around at this massive scenery, and I think that at that moment I felt like I was transported into a Tolkien novel, and that I was living out my childhood like dream. You know, when you're younger and you think that, oh, what if I do get my Hogwarts acceptance letter? You know, like, you know, you just think, oh, what if this could be real, right? I could catch Pokemon. I just need to find the right little gap in the universe, and I can pass through there, and I will be able to do it, you know? And in that moment, just reaching Limgrave like that and having the musical moment, I just felt like I was literally in the game, I think. And it was just so massive looking out. It was just a beautiful moment for me. What about you, Paige? What was your kind of like,
Oh, gosh. Yeah, there's a lot of them, and you guys have, mentioned some really good ones. Especially, the Bloodborne, the whole like discovery and everything was incredible. But like, I don't know, I really loved Elden Ring a lot, and I remember that whole quest line with like Fia and Dee and everything. That one was really just cool to kind of actually go through all of that. I was having a hard time with those quests too, because I didn't have a quest journal or anything, and I was not used to having like no quest log of any kind. And so I don't know, just kind of actually completing the quest lines in that game was always really satisfying. Um, I have to say, I also played Wolong Fallen Dynasty, and if you guys have played that one, like that first boss is just ridiculous. And I didn't have much experience with Souls games at the time, and I remember I was like, "Woo, I finally did it!" And then it's phase one. And then it's like, okay, well,
yeah.
I'm like, I've been here for like 2 hours already. Oh, so good to get past that.
Oh man, that phase one trick. You know, who
Yeah.
knew that they could get another health bar?
hmm
What was your biggest, so going from the biggest like, wow, this is so wonderful moment, to what was your biggest like WTF moment whenever you were playing these games? Can you think of any? What about you, like Lindsay? Do you remember any moments when you were just like, you wanted to throw your controller and you're just over it and just absolutely
It's famously in my community my least favorite boss. I'm gonna keep talking about Bloodborne. It was my first one. I think that's why. But I hate the Celestial Emissary.
I like
Which is
that.
it's not a hard
Chat is
boss.
already saying.
It's like not a hard boss at all. But like, when there's a boss and then there's a bunch of tiny little things that are also attacking you, I am bad at crowd control, and it makes me want to die. Like, that is my when I'm like, oh, I'm gonna rage, I'm gonna yell. I've never like broken a controller. That's not my style. But I'm like, I can kind of understand. I can kind of understand why people might like throw something when I have to fight a boss like that. Like
the
Crystal
living
Sage.
failures, though. The living
Failures,
failures.
I didn't mind those as much because I feel like they still can like gang up on you, but it was just like the little aliens that would all, I don't know, and then
The
like
little
the
guys.
lasers. I feel
They're
like living
faster than
failures,
the living.
yeah, living
They
failures,
are
and you get like a
faster.
little bit of a break when they do the like meteor
Meteors.
shower because you can hide. But yeah, anything like that. Crystal Sage, I didn't like. Those are the things that are really like, why am I doing this?
No,
Why do I like these games?
Crystal Sage is my wall on Soul Level 1, because it's like I'm trying to get the timing down. Just spawning and and then you're in like in the wrong place, and then you're just done. I'm like, I've been fighting this person for 20 minutes. I can't, you know. So I totally get that. Honestly, I feel like that's something that can be incorporated into play styles, right? It's like your least favorite moment or most favorite moment. It has a lot to do with how you play. Right. So if you have a mage build, you're going to have a least favorite boss that's different than somebody who plays with strength or plays with dex,
Totally.
you know? Like, and I definitely feel you for, I all day long give me a Radon or a Morgoth or a Godfrey over a mob and bosses. Like,
I love getting to like learn the patterns and like the dodging, and sometimes with mobs it's like there's no pattern, it's just like run away and not get like cornered or something.
chaos, absolute chaos. And what about you, Jess?
I don't know, because I don't. It's hard. Like, I love getting absolutely murdered in these games. Like, that's why they're so fun. It's ridiculous. But I think the one that I shouldn't have trouble with, but I do, is that red wolf thing in Elden Ring.
Radagons.
Like, it's just a wolf. It's like almost a mini boss. Like, it's not even a remembrance boss, and I just don't. It doesn't make sense to me. I've played like some games of bingo with some friends, and whenever I have to do the wolf, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't do that. I'm gonna get stuck on the wolf. But yeah, I don't know. I like really enjoy what, like, to me that's the point of these games, are those like WTF moments, is like, learning how to get around stuff and all that jazz. So, but yeah, that wolf, I guess, is my nemesis.
Oh man, that's so funny, because that's literally was the biggest thing for me on doing crowd control Elden Ring. Every time I would fight the red wolf, chat would spawn in like two land octopuses and like a rune bear, and I was like, please don't do this. This is hard enough already. You're jumping around everywhere.
Elden Ring is so fun.
Oh,
It really is.
it's so fun,
try.
and you get to see how sadistic your chat is, too. You're like, somebody help me out here, man. Why are there 100 millennias over here?
Yeah.
But what about you, Pixie?
Mine is short and sweet, or I guess kind of short and gross, but when I discovered what Orphan of Kos was fighting you with for the first time.
And would you like to let chat know what that is? Anybody who's not a Bloodborne
I mean,
fan?
it's basically like the placenta that they came from, and it's just like because I didn't really pick up on it because I was just paying attention to the moveset and not dying. But then like people in chat like mentioned it, and I was like, what? like I knew this game was weird, but holy crap, like it was
disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Then the phase change too, when they like eat the placenta.
Yeah, it's their meatballs.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
So Orphan of Kos is so gross. Orphan of Kos could absolutely 100% front a death metal band. And
True.
What is up, Denny's?
Oh
You
my
killed my
God.
mom! Just like I hate it.
That is one of my favorite fights in that game. Though.
Yeah, me
I
too.
love
Me too.
Me too. Yeah, I love the Orphan of Kos fight actually a lot. I just feel like I was in a boat, by myself, so I feel very validated right now. What about you, Paige?
Ooh, okay, so my first run through of Elden Ring, I think I really only rage quit like on like one boss, and it's like the silliest one, and it's not even something that I would have difficulty with now. But it's towards the beginning of the game, and it's like that one like invisible snail that like summons, and I could not
hate
find
the
the
snail.
snail.
I forgot about this snail.
I could not find the snail. The snail gave me such a hard time. And like that is just forever the one that just made me like rage the hardest out of anything. The snail.
I think that I had a trauma block out of that.
Same.
Yep.
Oh,
The Godskin duo with the snail.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
no.
The worst.
Oh no, my rage moment was when I went up against the Godskin duo, And granted, I'm just doing dex melee only, whatever, right? And I thought it was really imbalanced, like the way that they were coming at you, like how, like, I just saw it, especially with my twin blade. I was like, I don't have time to finish an attack and run away. And why are you still respawning? And so finally, I kill them, or I think I killed them. And there was like one more thing of health. And so I mean, I was so irritated with that fight that I got up and I was jumping. I was like, yeah, take that. Wah-ha-ha! You know, I'm celebrating. I was like one hit away, and then it respawns and kills me.
No, dude.
Oh,
That's horrible.
And it was I was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. No more. I quit. I'm done. Never again. I'm never doing this again. And of course, you know, I was back like the next day. But still, like there's just, you get these moments where you just like, it was like, it's like a roller coaster ride, right? Of emotions. And I feel like I wanted to ask y'all, you know, how do you think like these games, the FromSoft games, like the reward system, like what for you makes it so so rewarding? Is it the adrenaline rush off of beating a hard boss? Is it the lore of the characters? Like, what's your favorite element, you know, coming into these styles of games, Lindsay?
I think that's hard. I mean, I love the lore. That's like one of my favorite parts about the game. But I do think the way I feel after I have fought a boss for a really long time, how powerful I feel. I always say I've never felt more powerful than when I played Sekiro. I just felt like I was on top of the world, like nothing could bring me down. And I think that is what brings me back playing them again and again, and obviously why people challenge run them, because it's like, okay, I've done it, now I want to do it again in a new way, and that's like the best way to do it. So that's got to be it. It's just like I don't know, to know that I can do hard things. These games, I'd never really played games like this before I played Bloodborne, and I was scared of them. And then I saw Jess play them and she loved them, and so I was like, maybe I can do this. And now I always say, like, if I can do it, anyone can do it, because I was so bad. I was so bad, but just the way, even if I'm fighting like Lady Butterfly for 3 days, which I did, the way I felt when I finally beat her, I was like, oh, I gotta keep going. Like this, there's nothing better than this.
Absolutely, you know, and I love what you just said, because that's what this is all about, right? You know, and you saw somebody that you look up to and enjoy, and you're like, oh, they're doing it, I can do this too, you know. And part of what made me fall in love with the Souls community so much was seeing, I was like, wait, she's doing it, like seeing like all these like strong, powerful women who are awesome creators who I admired loving these games, and I'm like, oh man, this is my jam, this is my place. And I feel like that that doesn't get talked enough about in the Soulsborne community, because it seems like it's, you know, it's its own little group. And that's why I wanted to, sorry, microphone, that's why I wanted to have, you know, us all get together in the same place to show like how powerful, you know, that presence is, and to make it known to anybody who might be watching and saying like, I've always wondered, you know, I've always seen these games look scary though, but then they get to hear from y'all and understand your experiences and be like, okay, wait, no, I'm down. I am so 100% down for this. That sounds really fun. I see her enjoying it. Even though she's dying 100 times, that's cool. I you know, I will love it too, you know. And what do you think about that, Jess? What are your thoughts?
About what?
About about your favorite kind of part
I
about
wasn't
it.
sure
Yeah.
asking about that or about like the other thing.
Just
Yeah.
ADHD tangents, you know, like no problem.
I love a tangent. I love a tangent. I just want to make sure I was answering that question. Yeah, I think like for me, it's all the hype moments, like the way that they build the worlds. and then like set you up to like have your mind blown, like the Malekith reveal, or like you know, like Melania Rock Goddess reveal. Like that is my favorite part of these games, hands down. Or like Ludwig, you know, all of that stuff. And like when I post those clips to TikTok, and like I still get like 2-year-old videos, people post on them, like comment saying like, cringe, why are you crying about Melania's phase 2 reveal? And I'm like, I'm cringe, but I am free, baby. This is what it's all about. Like this is what I live for. So that's like, and I don't know, people don't always get that. And I think people like just don't, I feel sad that people can't have the same experience that I do, and that they think it's cringe, because like that's the spice of life. And I love that FromSoftware is able to like build those moments, and they set them all up with the world that they build and the characters, and then they like have an amazing fight to follow. So I think it's those hype moments for me.
I love that. I love that. I love that you said I'm cringe, but I'm free.
Yes, I learned that phrase from Eyes on B, who's a very wonderful Final Fantasy creator, or a JRPG creator. She's great, and I've taken that phrase from her. It's a good phrase.
It's so true though, and I personally adore your reactions, because I mentioned this earlier. Everybody I reached out to for this had, you know, several things in common. You know, loving the games, but also the genuine, authentic presentation of self that I think is very freeing. When you're just like, this is me. Take it or leave it. You know, every single person here is just like that. They're like unapologetically themselves. And that's one of my favorite things about watching creators, and especially like trying to replicate my own first playthroughs, right? Is watching people's reactions to those moments. Those like whoa moments, and you get to see, you're like, oh, it's happening. Everybody in chat, shut up. Shut up. Don't say anything. I want to see what she does. You know?
Totally. Yeah. And for me, a lot of it was like growing up, and like even like as an adult, not having a ton of friends who like played games or like enjoyed things the same way I did, like kind of just like feeling belittled or like made fun of because of how much I loved certain things. Like finally having a platform and like created a space to like just enjoy stuff like that, rules.
Absolutely. No, absolutely 100%. I love that you have that. You know, everybody deserves to be able to feel like they can be themselves and be celebrated for it, right?
Totally.
So what about you, Pixi? What was your moment like that, like your favorite part about it, about the gaming experience with FromSoft games?
Sure. I mean, I guess I'm gonna kind of be echoing Lindsay and Jess, because I kind of agree with the whole you know, FromSoftware has this really cool way that they introduce you to like this next big grand area. It's like the big scenic reveal when you walk through the archway or you open the door. Like it is just so freaking cool. And then like what Lindsay said, you know, when you beat a boss, I think Sav and I kind of talked about this a little as well, but like I've had people come into my streams before where, you know, like I beat a boss and I sit there and I'm like, you know, for a while I didn't think I could do it, but now I'm here and I did it. And I have people that come into my streams that say things along the lines of, I love watching these games, but I don't think I could ever play them because I'm not good enough. And I don't call them out, but I jokingly kind of poke at them and remind them how bad I was when I started. And I'm like, if I can do it, you can do it too. And the thing that I like about the Souls games is they could do it in any way they want to. There's so many different weapons, play styles, you know, magic, melee, like whatever you want. And sometimes people will say to me, well, I'm thinking about doing this, but, you know, it's not the meta, or people are telling me I shouldn't. And I'm like, why not? If it's in the game, you can do it. So it's like you can explore these beautiful games, these beautiful environments and worlds, and experience these really sick boss fights, and you could do it completely in your own way, like however you want. And I love that.
I agree wholeheartedly. I like literally just made, that's so funny. I literally just made a video about that, saying like, stop telling people how to play. Stop it.
Yeah.
Because there are layers to that. Yes, I'm ADHD and I have oppositional. You tell me what to do, I'm going to do I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do the absolute opposite thing, like that you tell me what to do. This is not a good idea. It's not going to work out for you. Where's she going to play? Just sitting at the fog gate for an extra 30 minutes now, bucko. You know? What do you think? Well, let's talk. What's your favorite color? You know? But also because what I want to see is people finding their community, finding the joy, finding the camaraderie that I feel in this community, surrounded by, you know, y'all, and being like, oh, I'm not alone. You know, I'm going to cry when this scene happens. I'm going to react in a big way. I want other people to feel that same way. I want people to find these games and go through the emotional just revelations of the stories and the lore and the reveals. And in order to share those things in those moments, you know, you have to let people play how they want to play, because not everybody's a challenge runner at heart, you know, and some people want to use the weapons and the mechanics that are available to them, and don't shame them away from that. It doesn't make you any better. And like, I can't stand it when people think that putting somebody else down is going to uplift them, because that's the opposite of what happens. You know, you just end up looking like a bully, and it doesn't help anybody. So I think that also, you know, stressing, I love that both Lindsay and Pixi, I love that you both talked about, like, hey, if I can do it, you could do it. Anybody can play these games, you know, and the more you play, the more creative you get with your methods. Like, I'll tell you, you know, it's a bug though. It's for real. So for you, Paige, what was the most kind of like addicting factor of like FromSoft that you love stories?
Well,
and
yeah, no, totally. It's just kind of like the mysteriousness of everything, but like also kind of just touching on like what you were just saying. Like, I love like magic builds and, just kind of witchy, anything like kind of fun like that. And, Elden Ring has like some incredible magic and spells and all. But I was not anticipating that people would respond like not all like positive to me using like a magic build. Like, why are you cheating yourself? Like, why are you? I was like genuinely caught off guard. I was like, "What? It's in the game. What are you talking about? Like, I'm sorry. Like, don't play a magic build then. Like, I'm going to. Like, it's sorry that you don't like it." Like, it was very funny to me. But it was just, I don't know, incredible to progress through that game and just go get new spells and everything. And like you mentioned earlier, like I had a different experience with a lot of the bosses in that game, like as a mage, like a lot of the bosses that a lot of people struggled with, like I didn't struggle with as much. And then some of the ones that weren't considered that difficult, like I had a really hard time on, and like I was able to like take out Melina in 4 tries by the end of that game, whereas in the beginning of that playthrough, that's not how that was going. So
that's awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah.
4 tries. What did you use?
I think it was mainly just like the dark moon spell or something. I don't know. It was a lot of the fun magic and stuff.
That's
yeah.
so crazy. Yeah, I mean, but I bet that what was the hardest boss for you as a mage build? Was it the isn't Elden Beast supposed to be really hard for people who use magic? Which one is it? I can't
say
remember.
that one was really tough. I'm struggling to remember fully. I'm working on another new game plus run of that same like mage character currently, just kind of on and off right now, and trying to get to like the later bosses. I haven't like struggled too much with the new game plus yet, but I'm assuming I'm getting to that point. So we'll see.
I love it. I love it. I love that we're able to, change as you go along too. And especially with the DLC coming, like we could be like,
Totally.
who knows what I'm gonna do next? Maybe I'll do things different. I don't know. I'm so tried and true. I'm so boring. I'm basic. I pick something. I stick with it for the whole game, and that's just what I do. Because I'm like, but honestly, I don't have the attention span to remember. Okay, this spell is over here. Okay, now mana flask. Okay, cause I just okay, buff with this and do that. I can't remember all that. I don't even know what I had for breakfast this morning. I'm just I can't. This is like it's like a ultimate finisher combo, like like up down left right left. It's just my brain will break. So but I love watching how everybody has different styles and plays them and whatnot. And I did want to go back to you, Jess, because it leads into something that I like to touch on with creators and short form content, and whenever we're trying to, of course, that's just a big part of of being a full-time streamer or content creator in any aspect is that we have to do the dreaded like discoverability stuff, the short form content, right? Or you put your clips and your reactions and you put them out there. Personally, I've received some really like hateful comments on my reactions being cringe or too big, or oh, you're doing the most, or oh wow, you're over the top. And it does make me sad for that person that they feel so limited in their own experiences that they would they've been conditioned to believe that a certain reaction is acceptable and a certain reaction isn't. And to me, that's sad. I'm like, oh, dang, that must suck, to kind of be watching out and be like, oh, I can't. Oh, it's like cheering for your favorite sports team to win. And you're like, yeah. And you're like, oh sorry. I hope I didn't disturb anybody else in the bar. You know what I mean? Like, no, what? Like,
For me, I feel like it's so like in the beginning, they really, really bothered me. I was like, why can't these people like let me just enjoy this game?
yeah.
And then the more I like got those, I mean, like I've been getting those comments for years at this point, and like now I'm just like, okay, so there are so many people. I would say 90 to 100% of the time it's men, being like, oh, I've never experienced this kind of emotion, or maybe I've been taught in my life to tamp that down and not, bottle it all up. I can't experience this excitement or this emotion about this game. Therefore, no one else can, because they're so like closed-minded and they're not able to experience the empathy of like, seeing that someone else can have different experiences than them. I think that's what it is a lot of the time, especially on TikTok. Um, and I think that is just like at this point, I'm just like, that's a bummer for you, dude. Like, I'm sorry you can't get as excited as we can, because this is, again, like I said, this is like why I game. Like, this is the
Right. That's
best.
the moment,
So I think that's what I've really like just learned over the years is like people who don't get it, they don't get it, and that's okay.
And
But then you'll find the people that do, because I think the people that are like that, like calling you cringe, like I think they're a vocal minority. I think it's so worthwhile to keep posting and like find the people like us.
Just engagement, anyways. Like, who cares?
oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
thanks
just
for the
like
free
it's-
engagement.
Like, thanks. Like,
Yeah.
I that brings me to really, it's exactly what I wanted to talk about. And it's so funny because I feel like as women in gaming, we've shared so many experiences that it's almost like, you look around and everybody's kind of like nodding, like, yes, like I've been through that too. I've been through that too. And one of the things, Jess, is that you mentioned you're like 90% of it, there are people who look male on there and they're trying
Right.
to tone you down. And I wanted to get the kind of the experience from everybody here about being a woman in the space and the kind of comments you get that don't happen to the male counterparts with even an iota of the same frequency that they might happen to you, and kind of like how that's been how that has affected your experience as a creator and a gamer. And let's start with Paige this time.
oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's definitely something that I've been fortunate enough to like have like the really positive community here on Twitch and everything, but of course sometimes you go over to some other platforms and things and it can be, like, the YouTube comments can be a little bit harsher and some things like that, and you just kind of have to like learn how you want to like handle that and kind of just decide that like, that is just like a projection of like how they are feeling. It doesn't have anything to do with like you. And just, I don't know, the best thing to do is just continue to like do your thing and just like be the most you can be, and just like, I don't know, stay authentic. And like, if someone doesn't like that, then that's totally fine and they can go elsewhere. So, you know.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. What about you, Pixie? What's been your experience with that? Do you, and how do you kind of deal with that?
I mean, I kind of echo what Paige said. Like, if someone comes into my Twitch chat and gives me a hard time, which I will say is more of a rare event, it doesn't happen so much in Twitch, and I'm very fortunate to say that. But when it does happen, like, I do like to kind of poke the bear a little bit. So I might like call them out or just like get a quick jab in if I can. But most of the time, I just ignore it. But like Paige said on like YouTube, the weirdest comment I ever got was on a short video on YouTube. I think it was during my No Leveling Lies P run. I think I beat, I don't know if it was Laxazia, I forget which boss I actually beat, but I had someone write like a few sentences basically saying, like, there's no way you're doing that. There's got to be a guy under the desk
Oh
playing
my
for
Yeah.
god,
you.
I've
I've
Or,
gotten that
too.
too.
Or
or
like
like,
pre-recorded.
Like, how difficult would that be? Like,
yeah. Like they it's like, one, this space y'all can't see it, but this space is insanely small. There's no
right? Like,
way. Like I could barely fit in it. And two, they were saying someone might be behind me playing, and the clap back I had, I was like, well, I'm gonna be live at 12 p.m. Eastern today. You can find out. You know, come check me out. Like
There.
it was more funny than anything else. But I was like, some people just can't accept that women and femme presenting gamers can do the same things that, you know, a male looking gamer can do.
Or even
And
better.
it's just like, yeah, or even better. Yeah. And it's just like, that's a big part of why I've loved kind of specializing more in Souls games, because I want to be that kind of role model for gamers of all kinds, you know, and show people like we can do it.
Yes. Yes. Yes, we can. And no, I love that because it's such a valid thing to look at something and say, you tell me I can't, and no, but I will show you that I can. You know, that's such
Exactly.
a shared experience, you know. And but it's very interesting to me that that no matter what achievements you do on this platform and gaming and whatever, it seems like it's always going to be somebody who wants to devalue it and say, oh, well, that wasn't really you, or say that any success that you have in streaming is because of your gender, which is how many but it's because you're a woman. Yes, I think it's just so much easier. You know, if I was a pretty girl, I'd get so many viewers. Ugh.
And then you go look at their streams, and they're just like sitting there in a dark room in silence for like 4 hours,
Playing
like,
Call of
not saying
Duty.
anything. Yeah, like saying nothing.
Saying nothing at all.
Yeah.
Not talking, not anything. You know, there's nothing. Yeah, but it's like it's your fault that you're stealing their viewers. You know,
Yeah.
Parky had a good point about that too. I'm very excited because, you know, it's easy for people to try to debunk your truth because it makes them uncomfortable. And they don't want to listen to the facts. They don't want to listen to anybody sharing their experience because they said, nope, I don't like the idea that I have an advantage and that I'm not doing as well as I should be. Like, I don't like the idea of thinking that I have a leg up and that this person's doing better than me in my head, you know? And in reality, it's not a comparison game. You know, everybody has different starting lines. Everybody, you know, depending on where we're from, who we are, and how we're raised, everything, you know? And it shouldn't be a comparison, but people will try to take what you look like, what you do, and either use it as a weapon against you, or say that that's why you have your success. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, what has your experience been with that, Lindsay?
I find that mostly people just try to tell me what to do.
The control aspect, yeah.
Yeah, they'll be like, I mean, I feel like just I don't know. I don't know what boss I was fighting. It was towards the end of Dark Souls 3. I had made it all the way through, like I think I was fighting Madeira maybe. And they're like, someone comes in, first chat message is like, you're going to want to hit him on the head. I tried him 15 times or fought him 15 times and just beat him, but go for headshots. And I was like, why do you like what is it about me who I'm getting to, like, you know, he has like a third of health left. I'm like, why do you think at this point I need your help? Like, what is that? And like, I think Sekiro was the worst. And like you said earlier, when someone tells me what to do, I'm like, okay, well then I'm not going to do that. So like, truly 2 tries into my Lady Butterfly attempts, someone's like, well, you can shuriken her when she jumps into the air. And I was like, okay, well, now I'm never going to use a shuriken. Somebody was like, you should deflect. So I spent my whole first day fighting Lady Butterfly not deflecting because people were telling me to deflect. And I was like, I don't need your help. I then made like an overlay for my stream that says like, I don't need your help. So that when people try to backseat, I'll
That's
just pop it
awesome.
on. But I just find that that's the thing. People don't really, I feel like people really aren't mean, but they just they think I want them to tell me how to play the game. And I'm like, I will never want you to tell me how to play the game.
I got this far in this game.
Yeah, I'll say
before
that.
you were here.
I'll be like, I made it this far without you. Why do you think I suddenly am desperate random person who doesn't even follow me for your help? Like, especially if it's a first time chat message. Ugh, get out of here. Get out of
No.
here.
That's such a red flag. But have you seen, has your personal experience been that when you look at male counterparts or male presenting counterparts that are playing these games, do you think that they get as much of that behavior in the comments?
I watch a lot of lady streamers, so I don't really know.
I do too. I do think
Maybe.
I think that it's a part of the culture of FromSoft as well, because people tend to be, it's niche, you know, and I feel like people are very passionate about the games, and then whenever they beat them, they want everybody to know. And then sometimes when people beat the games and they're like, you know, I noticed the other day that I took for granted being a streamer, and because I don't game unless I'm live, right? I don't have the time for it or anything. And I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, man, I would be kind of bummed if I did something cool in a game and I didn't have anybody to share it with. You know, I would be kind of bummed. I would feel kind of lonely, right? You know, you're just like, hey, and there's, you know, and I was thinking like, well, you know, I like to approach that with the people who come in off the bat, like backseating or come in and talking about their own stuff. I'm like, maybe they're just trying to share, you know? But at the same time, I watch a lot of streams. I am, you can ask anybody, I'm a chronic lurker. I love lurking in people's streams. I put them on, I put my AirPods in, and I go off, and I always hear, you know, it's kind of like a dog, you know, or like a cat, whenever they hear your food opening, you're just like, ah! Like you can always hear when the streamer's addressing the backseating. I'm always like, oh, you know, like, but I think that it has happened. In my own experience of what I've witnessed, it happens more with women and femme presenting streamers, and I think that that's because of a general like kind of an order of things, you know, of let's tell them what to do. They need help. It's a mansplaining thing, you know. It's like, oh, because you can look at even on challenge run videos, and you'll be doing this, and they're like, oh, I can't believe she didn't do it this way, and you're like, what is wrong with you? This person just beat the millennia with their fists. Jess.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then somebody's gonna tell you how to do it. It's like, what is the thought process in that? What's been your experience, and especially with like, you know, your challenges and the things that you've accomplished, Jess, with that kind of.
That just made me think of something really funny that happened when me and Lindsay went to the Elden Ring Symphony in January, which is we were there with my family. It was like to celebrate my birthday, so we went there with my family and me and Lindsay and her husband, and we were like in our seats, and there were people like kind of coming, like getting past us to go to their seats, and it was these dudes. It was like it was mostly a male attended event, and these dudes were like, oh, I heard they only let you in here if you've beat Melania, and I was like, oh, I've beat her at level 1. Have you? And they were like, oh, and then they just kept going. And I was like, oh, that felt so good. And it's awesome to do it in real life, not just like when they can just like leave this chat. And be like,
Oh, the
You get to
audacity!
see them go in that case.
The
Yeah, that's nice.
audacity, though, that makes me feel so icky.
Yeah.
You know, because like we always say, right? Like, if you wouldn't say that to somebody in real life, why would you say it to somebody online?
But I guess
But
they
they
would.
did.
they would. And I don't think they meant it like truly maliciously, but like deep down, I think that stems from like somewhere a little
Yeah.
bit.
There's no way
misogyny.
these girls beat this video game
Yeah.
that I love
Yes.
so dearly.
You know what it
Yeah.
was? It probably was them trying to show off for y'all, and then
I-
you like,
that
that
could
can
be
flex.
too.
Yeah.
That could be too. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I beat Millennia. What's up? Just-
Yeah, that I will never forget that. That was like that felt so good.
Man, do you ever and like everyone can chime in on this. Do you ever have moments in real life where you're like, wow, I do too much content creation, wherever you're like, oh, I wish I could clip that.
That would have been a clippable moment.
It's a clip,
Yeah,
but
for
it's like
sure.
real life, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I literally have done that before, where I'm just like, man, that would have made a good clip. You know? Like, I wish I could watch that moment with y'all.
Need
You
that
know,
for my
on
cat.
repeat.
Right.
Like, have that as like an alarm in the morning. I mean, it's just that would be great. It's just like kind of like a Rocky, but or you know, Survivors, you know, thing where you're just trying to get pumped up. And you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
I beat her on level 1. Have you? That's what I think. You know, I really do love that, and I think that that there is a lot of community with the Souls games because of I feel like the shared experience of the difficulty, right? You know, there is like people love the bragging rights, right? We want to be like, yeah, I did this. That's why we put ourselves through, like, also in the fun of it, the adrenaline rush, the serotonin, but like why we put ourselves through the difficulty of these games, but also like it's sharing it with other people. Like, how do you feel the community with the Souls games? And I'd love to ask, you know, Pixi, I'd love for you to answer first. Like, how do you feel like that differs from other communities that you've seen or been a part of?
Well, because like when I first started streaming, like I throw in variety every now and then as well. But like when I first started streaming, I remember I would play a lot of Stardew Valley. And I haven't tried the new update yet. I don't know if any of y'all have, but it looks super cute. But I played a lot of Stardew, and it's like obviously that game is like a total, you know, 180 from Dark Souls, right? Like it's so chill, there's no stress, it's just so relaxing. So everyone popping into chat is all like super cozy, and you know, I just feel like when I play a Souls or Souls like game, like you just have that, you know, people are lurking, doing their thing, whatever. They're watching me chug away at a boss for 4 hours, whatever. But then the moment that you do conquer that challenge, like everyone comes into chat, everyone comes together, and that wall of hype that you see flowing through your chat, it's just unreal. And it's part of why I love streaming those games. And Sav, I think you said it before, something along the lines of like, you've kind of met a lot of your people because of the Souls community, and I feel exactly the same way. Like even people that, you know, if I switch to something else, like, okay, maybe they're going to watch someone doing soul stuff. Like, you know, it's how it goes, and that's fine. But it's like, I know like Elden Ring was the game that put me over the edge and got me partnered a couple years ago. And I just remember like whenever I get into like a new challenge run, or if I start a new Souls, like sometimes I'll see some of those names from when the partner Elden Ring hype was going on, like come back into chat, because the just like you said, the struggle and the camaraderie of the Souls games is so real, and it brings people together, and it's so cool.
No, absolutely. I agree. I have to say I do find Stardew Valley really stressful.
The fishing
It
is
can
stressful
be.
for me.
Yeah.
For me, it's the bedtime. I don't even have a bedtime as an adult, like in real life. And trying to get home on time before I get mugged is always like, I'm like, no, jeez. I'm in the mines, man. I'm trying to hang out, you know, trying to mine, get some stuff. I'm a loot goblin. And then it's like, oh, just kidding. It's 11. You might just get robbed. It's fine, you know, but oh, we just got a TWG raid. Let's go, Liz XP.
Hi,
Everybody say hi, Liz.
Hi, Liz.
What's up, Liz?
What's going on, everybody? My name is Sav. I'm the Wholesome Singing Soulsborne streamer, and I'm joined by these amazing guildies to talk about all things Soulsborne. And we are so happy to have you here with us. We're raising money for the 1,000 Dreams Fund with the Twitch Women's Guild. So I am so grateful for you helping us put eyes on that, Liz. You are awesome. Thank you so much for the raid. Y'all want to say hi? We've got OhLindsey.
Hello.
JessCapricorn.
Yo, what's up?
We have Pixi.
Hello.
And PaigeTheWitch.
Hello.
Y'all don't know how long it took me to because I have my camera flipped to remember which side is to work myself out with that. But thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate you. And if y'all want to find out more about our amazing guests, you can do command guests in the chat, as well as command donate or command charity to find out more about 1,000 Dreams Fund. So this is awesome. We are talking about, the community of the Souls games, and that's why I'm so happy to have everybody here and talking about this. I know that you two have matching tattoos of souls, so you know very much about how deep that love can go. What about you, Lindsay? How do you feel about the difference between the FromSoft community and maybe any other gaming communities that you've seen?
Yeah, I mean, I know we were just talking about how sometimes there's some stinkers out there who come in and try and tell you what to do, but I do think that is a vocal minority of the Souls community. From what I have experienced, they're so nice and just, I don't know, I think people who love these games really love them and especially love to welcome other people into the Souls community, and they just want them to succeed and love the games as much as they do. So I find that, I mean, I'm the same as Pixi. I got partnered off of Elden Ring, the hype around that helped push me over to partner numbers. And I think I definitely see some same people come through every time I play a new Souls game. And yeah, I just think for games that are so scary and intimidating, you might not expect that the community is so welcoming and encouraging and wonderful. And I seeing all of those, I don't know, seeing so many different Souls communities around different challenge runs and stuff really makes me want to try new challenge runs and stuff. So I don't know. I play a lot of variety, so my community sort of dips in and out, as are the woes of variety. But I always get excited when I'm doing a Souls game because I know I'll see some familiar faces that pop in and out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost it's like a small world, right? It's a big world, but a small village. I don't know how to describe it, but I really feel like I see the same people in everybody that I watch, all the chatters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And myself included, I'm I go over to somebody's stream and I'm oh, I know that chatter. I see that chatter. You know what I mean? I recognize you, I love that. I love seeing that because it further solidifies. I feel like if anybody's looking for, a group of people that they can belong with, I feel like the Souls genre is just really great because like you said, we can have some stinkers like everybody else, Remember, got some stinkers. There's always a few bad apples, but for the most part, people are super accepting and wonderful and welcoming, and that's why I felt so at home streaming. I've never streamed anything other than Souls. Of course, community nights and stuff, but I've always been a Souls streamer, and it's because of the people that I've met and streamers like y'all that I watch that I get to be yo, that's so cool. They are so cool. I want to be like that. That's so dope. And admiring y'all. And what do you think? What do you think is your favorite community aspect, Jess?
Yeah, I agree with y'all. First of all, I think on the whole, it's a really welcoming, lovely, inclusive place. The Souls community. And another thing I noticed, they're with regards to the stinkers, I've definitely had. It's funny. It's mostly when I play Bloodborne, I get the people being "Woman, log off. Only this is not a ladies' game." And I'm first of all, this game is basically about menstruation. And,
yes,
childbearing.
it is though.
Also, the fashion.
They ain't ready for that. They ain't ready for that.
The thing I notice, I think, with the Souls community that I've grown in, that I think it reflects the whole, is that when those people do come in, the community is very protective, and they like are like, what do you do? Like you can't say that, loser.
Yeah.
And then I
Totally.
like, you know, there's like a protective element that goes into it, which is really nice, that I don't think is like a thing in other communities, but that's something that I've seen for sure.
You can't bully my streamer. I can bully my streamer.
Yeah, very much. So.
Yeah.
That's my job. No,
Yeah.
it's true. And I've been kind of keeping an eye on chat because I want to make sure that raiders also know, you know, about the fundraiser and everything. And Mr. Alicia just said something very interesting to follow up on our talk about community. That it's interesting to me that so many people finding community and company, and they're people in the Souls games, but those same Souls games is a deep existential solitude, which is like, that's like, that makes sense, you know, like, because it's like the games you're playing, it's not centered around cooperation, right? You know, like summons are definitely like a tool that you can use, right? But they're not the basis of the game. The basis is like your tarnished or ashen one or hunter wakes up alone, is alone, stays alone. You don't get, you know, somebody following you. And I feel like for me, I found Bloodborne at like the lowest point in my life when I felt more alone than anything. And it helped so much to have this community of people who are passionate about this game, to where I felt like I was connected and like I wasn't alone anymore. And that was like the biggest part about the community for me. And I mean, I'm such a Souls nerd. Like I'm in all the subreddits and the Facebook groups. Even like I keep Facebook around for family updates and so that I can be in my Souls groups, man. Like I love seeing it. I do. I really, really do. And Paige, you know, you play a lot. You love the RPGs and everything. And did you ever think that you know, going over into the Dark Souls, like scary world, that the community was going to be the way it is? And I love, first of all, I love your cat. And I love the way that on the screen, it looks like the cat is disappearing like into Pixi.
Yeah, or like under the little desk.
It's so cute. Yeah. It's so perfect. I love that. I love that so much.
But yeah, that's Aussie, by the way. But yeah, no, I think it's interesting how it is like such like an individual experience of a game, but like there is such like a passionate and like dedicated community around it. And I do really appreciate like how much the community kind of does like regulate itself, like you guys were talking about, you know, like if someone is like being rude, everyone else is going to be like, hey, stop being rude, you know, which I really appreciate. And it's just really cool to see such like a passionate community, even with games that like don't have as much of like a story, like as I'm used to, like at least like the focus on the story, because these games do have like incredible stories, but that's not really like the main thing that like you're there for initially. Like, you know, even if you are, you can still got to figure out the combat in one way or another. So that was just a lot of fun, just kind of journeying into Elden Ring for the first time and just having like, I don't know, a really supportive group of people that are there to cheer me on and be like, hey, you're gonna get through it. So that was great.
Right. It's like, it's almost like, yes, we get the aspect of like that get good, but it's like, you can get good, and that's why I'm telling you to do it. Just suffer through it. Get, you know, die as many times as you can. You know,
right? Especially because like people can relate, you know, especially when you start out with a Souls game. It's like everyone remembers like their first Souls game, their first run. Like it's not going to be as smooth as maybe some of your later games. So
oh, absolutely,
dying is a rite of passage for this kind of game.
Do you guys remember the first time you ever got told to get good? Because the rage that I felt not being in the know about what that was, I was like, what do you mean?
Did you? Where was it? When was it, Jess? What were you doing?
It was in Bloodborne.
In Bloodborne,
like, that was my first one.
Mm-hmm.
Do
you remember what boss you were on or anything?
I don't know. I might have been like Amelia or Susie or something, but
Susie.
Bloodstarved Beast.
Bloodstarved Beast.
Yeah, I think the speedrunners call her Susie. I think that's like her nickname, but. Yeah, I don't know. But then I like learned what it was more about, and still sometimes I think it still pisses me off sometimes. But
I think sometimes people mean it negatively.
Oh
yes,
yeah.
I think sometimes they're like, I'm gonna say this because it's like a community thing, but also I think you're bad at the game.
Yeah, I think so too. Or I think it's sometimes it's available. A lot of times it's not. A lot of times it's like fun, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Like,
always try to not like assume malintent if I can, but then again, you have to be on your guard. Like I like you have to like set aside spoons for making sure that you have your kind of like awareness up for how people are saying things. I feel like sometimes people can come in and it almost they're so tiptoe on the line of being rude, and then but also like you don't want to assume that they know like how they're being, and so most of the time I try to kind of navigate that with as much grace as I can afford in that moment if I like have the mental bandwidth for it. But sometimes I just like I want to, it depends, because I can, if I'm tilted on a boss and my patience is already worn thin and somebody comes at me sideways and I'm like, and I can, you get that kind of like sixth sense, where you're just like,
Yes.
I feel like you're not really meaning this in the nicest way. I mean, so I love the question about like, I don't remember the first time I got good, but I remember the first time somebody tried to backseat me.
Sure.
And I straight up put my controller down and just spent the next like 30 minutes just talking because they were trying to tell me.
Totally.
And I was like, oh, here you go. It was when I was still I was streaming straight from my PlayStation too, so I was just a little thumbnail in the corner too. There was nothing. There was nothing to watch. I used to play music on Spotify on my phone and like have it in the mic.
Oh, that's awesome.
The mic from the PlayStation camera pick it up because that's all I had.
Oh
That's
my god.
awesome.
But I mean, I was just like, no, man, no. But then I realized like the more that I react, the more it's feeding into that, because they're like, oh yes, negative energy, give it to me. That's what I wanted, So sometimes you gotta walk away. How do you deal with trolls in the chat? I'd love to start with you, Lindsay. Like, how do you said a little bit earlier, but what's your best way of
Yeah, I think it depends. I have a very loyal following, and sometimes I don't have to do anything and my followers will just like do a little dog pile. Especially if someone's very mean, they'll just like go in on them. I
Myself
do
included, I will dogpile in Lindsay's
yeah,
chat.
yeah, I do. I used to be like I would, if someone made me mad, we would just ban. And now I do like to play with my food a little bit. So I'll just be like, well, why are you saying that? Like, what makes you think this way? I will say if I'm tilting on a boss and like my patience is thin, I might just be like, "Ugh," and then like time him out or ban him. Like I really will maybe be mean, say a few choice words. But I mostly try to like either ignore it or just be like, why would you say something like that to me? Like, let's talk about this, are you also sometimes I'll be like, oh, is school out on spring break, or are you
Is it a
are you
full
out
moon?
on like
Like-
yeah, like are you, clearly you're a child, so like
Yeah.
what are you doing? Are you on summer vacation? Are you out for Christmas break? Like I and sometimes that will make them mad. But
Yeah, that is so
I
funny.
like
when
that.
you do
Is school out? Does your mom know you're using the computer
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah, and then sometimes I will have to like call my chat off. I'll be like, okay, guys, like let's
Yeah.
Okay,
let's,
stop. It's
let's
the
give them a
Swiftie
chance
effect,
to like
right?
speak for themselves first and like prove that they're, because maybe sometimes people just don't know the vibe, or I think sometimes people will see, oh, like my community, we're very jokey, like we will pick at each other, and sometimes they'll maybe see someone be what they might think of as rude, but is like we're joking, so they might sort of try to come in on that same level, and I'm like, well, we don't know each other yet, so you can't
Yeah.
really do that. So usually I'll try to like see what's going on, but if they're really mean, or if I'm really frustrated, I might just be like, you can leave. I don't care.
Yeah. No, I get it. What about you, Jess?
Yeah, very much same as Lindsay. We actually share a few mods and we mod for each other. So like we I think have very similar vibes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I try not to ban anybody unless they're like really like being bigoted or like actively backseating too much and breaking the rules, all that stuff. I also like to play with my food. Um, and I love that Lindsay used that phrase. I'm going to start saying that too. But yeah, or like even just yesterday, somebody made a joke that was like kind of just like veiled in misogyny that wasn't that funny, that I didn't really get. And then I was like, what does that mean? And then they were like, oh, it's just a joke. And I was like, okay, can you explain why it's funny? And then they
Yes.
just didn't say anything and they left. I'm like, okay, that's handled. And then my chat was like, yeah, don't do that again. So it's very similar to Lindsay's chat too. But yeah, I would say that's how I deal with most trolls. And I don't get too many. Although I will say, like in Final Fantasy and Soulsborne alike, there are a lot of like backseaters. But yeah, such is life.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a different environment. I ever since starting to do mentoring in the women's guild, I've been able to check out streams that I wouldn't normally like go to, just because like if I'm not really into the game, I'm probably not gonna watch the stream because I have so many streamers that I love, you know what I mean? And so it's been really interesting to watch different types of streams and be like, oh, it's bad in Souls. You have the bad misogyny, the sexualization, the objectification, right, of just being a woman and existing, on the internet. But going into these like first person shooter ones, or like WoW, or like League of Legends, or like any of these things, and I'm like, this is just straight up like brutal. It's brutal, and I have so much respect for the women. You shouldn't have to put up with that, right? But then they're like, okay, whatever, just like they're used to it, and that's the sad part, right? Because nobody should ever be treated like that. But I do feel like there is less of that, and from what I've seen, in our community of the Soulsborne games, and I think that some of that might come from the way that the enemies and the bosses and the characters are designed, right? You don't have this over sexualization or the diminishing or devaluing of the women characters in these, and it's very open to interpretation about people. Like it's very inclusive. I think that Soulsborne games are like, you can have all different walks of life and in different ways of that as well, and I always feel empowered whenever I see that the hardest bosses are just like the like really like tough ladies. You're like, yeah, I'll take on Lady Maria and Sister Frida and Millennia any day, you know what I mean? So I love that.
Yeah.
My thing with the trolls is that I try to have, like I said, like I try to be a little bit gentle if I don't know what they're going through. I know that like these games and Twitch saved me from a really dark place, in my life, and so I try to be like I try to approach any encounter and like that with the sense of, this person is having the worst day ever. Like if anybody treats me with malice or like, just being even misogynistic, and as long as they don't cross, everybody has their own individual boundaries, right? So if they come out and just with pure hate speech and bigotry, like off the gate, obviously I'm not going to tolerate that. But I try to think like, maybe this person just like ran over their dog and their driveway, they're just like angry at the world. I try to think of the worst possible thing, and that person is projecting their hurt, because hurt people, right? And I can't possibly think of any other reason why anybody would go on the internet and be unkind to a stranger. I just don't see like the trail of events there, and so I try to think like, okay, what's going on in this person's life, and I try to talk to them a second, and unless I'm tilted on a boss and I just don't have the patience for it, but I do think that I wouldn't be able to do the same thing in another community, because I think that that these games attract a certain type of person, and I think that you have to be strong enough to get through them, mentally and emotionally. I think it takes willpower, and so there's a reason why they were, in my stream and not, somewhere else. So, but at the same time, I think that it's really important that we speak up and stand up for ourselves, especially as women in this space and people who are representing genders and people who aren't as represented on the whole scope of things when you think of gaming, right? But what about you, Pixi? What do you think about trolls and all that?
I mean, like, similar to Lindsay and Jess, my community and mods are pretty good at like having my back if they see someone being weird in chat, regardless if it's about the game or about anything else. I will say that it doesn't happen as much these days, but I used to get a lot of people, like if I was getting really frustrated at a boss or just like complaining about a certain mechanic or whatever it is, like the other phrase that I absolutely hate besides get good is welcome to Dark Souls. I
Yes.
cannot
Oh my
stand when
God.
people do that.
We've
God,
been here.
Yeah, I know.
Up,
Like
oh.
sometimes when people say that, I will say like I've already played all the game. Like you realize this is a level 1 run, right? Like just to mess with them. And I also made a redeem of myself going, "Welcome to Dark Souls," just like that. So my community
That's
will use
awesome.
it. Yeah, my community will use
Wait,
it.
is it a sound alert or a video? I've never seen it.
It's like it's a sound alert with my voice clip, like I just said, and then it's the meme SpongeBob with his hands on his hips. Yeah. And
That's perfect.
as much as I love that redeem, it kind of backfired because my community does troll me a lot with it. With all that love, I'd rather them than someone else.
That's amazing. That's so funny. That's so Bats is in the Quantum Bats in the chat right now. It says love that, Pixi. You're so creative. That is so creative.
Oh,
I think that's amazing. You have to have thick skin to do this, especially as a woman, and then you also have to have a little bit of humor, I think, right? When you're dealing with these things, sometimes whenever I die, a lot of times I'm just like, oh, well, it's fine. This is a normal experience I'm having a great time. Just like the
tears rolling down your face.
Yes, everything's fine. But yeah, I love the creativity, especially. I think that when people see your strength and how you handle things, I think that makes a difference as well. I think that every time that we have an interaction with somebody, and I've noticed this in every single one of y'all's communities, by the way, y'all are saying, oh, well, my chat takes care of it. My mods take care of it. And I know that in Paige, yours is the same way, right? Yeah, they what happens whenever people come in and troll or try to troll?
I mean, yeah, it's the same thing. It's the mod team is incredible. That's on my stream, and I feel very grateful for that. And just in general, I try to just laugh things off. Like no one's gonna get to me with any of these comments. So like you can try, but people just generally kind of get bored because I don't really care. So like
you don't give them that reaction.
Like no, like okay, like yes, and like I've heard it all before at this point. Like like what, you don't like the magic or whatever. Like okay, then I'm still gonna play a magic build. So
it's not gonna impact what I do. What you say, what you tell me. Like exactly. I'm glad you got that off your chest.
Yeah, like okay, then I guess you won't play a magic build. Congrats. Yeah.
No, but what the thing is, and I hope that you all realize, part of the reason why you're such good, ambassadors and advocates for women in gaming and Twitch Women's Guild and for the Soulsborne genre is that your communities are a reflection of you. They didn't just get that way. You didn't just hop onto Twitch and then you just get a good batch of people who are there to protect, the way that you're treated and what you put up with, right? Your mods are a reflection of you. The people who stick around, those are all a reflection of you. It's not just because they just appeared out of nowhere. Of course, I do think that the chat, it does tend to, be people who like the FromSoft games, but you have to recognize that your part in that. You have established by how you are, who you are, and how you behave and how you handle things, you have established a precedent and a foundation for your community. So like make sure you give yourself the props for that, because they are absolutely 100% a reflection of you and then the type of creator you are. That's the type of community you have. So I look up to all y'all. Again, like I said, I'm always watching. You know, I have so many streams. I'm always watching Wazowski. And you know, that actually brings me. I was wondering what moment, like, you know, of like an accomplishment of yours. You touched on it briefly, Jazz, but what's like a moment that you felt really proud to be, you know, a woman gamer in that space, and like where you're just like you felt like on top of the world, and you know, could be in the FromSoft world or not, you know, whatever. It's just like, what was and whoever wants to kick it off, you know.
Lindsay has good ones. Lindsay has multiple good ones.
Lindsay.
I think my proudest moment is when I third tried Sword Saint Ishin. I almost first tried him. I truly did. He was like
It's true.
What?
I almost first tried him, and then I messed up a lightning redirection and it went bad. But sometimes I beat myself up about that. I'm like, I could have done it. But I think that is probably the proudest moment for me, because Sekiro was so hard for me. I did not think I could do it, and I was really pushing myself because I loved the combat. And then I think around like Guardian Ape, it really clicked for me, and I was like, this is the only game I think I'll ever be like, I'm good at this game. And I was really dreading the final boss because I knew how long it took a lot of people, but then I did it on my third try, and I think
Wow.
I'll brag about that for the rest of my life, probably.
Wow, that is so awesome. I love that. I that's third try?
Yeah, I was really excited about that.
He took me like 3 streams. He was so hard.
Yeah.
And multiple streams too. He's so
That's
hard.
crazy. And I seem to have seen you do a little something with Gale.
Oh yeah, just recently I first tried him the other day.
At level
I was
69.
level 69 as well, which
Nice.
is exciting. I almost passed out. I had to lay on the floor because my adrenaline was so high that I had to lay down on the floor because my vision started like I think I was holding my breath or something. I don't know. But my vision
You're
started to
blacking
go, and I
out.
was like, I have to lay down.
Wait, tell them about Calamite.
Oh, I also first tried Calamite at level 69.
Yeah.
You're goated.
That's what I say. Thank you.
With the Dark Souls games, I like to stop at level 69. Well, not Dark Souls 2, because that one's different. But Souls or 1 and 3, I was like, I'll just go to 69 and then I'll stop. And it makes it really fun.
Worked out.
Yeah.
That's insane, dude. I can't believe. Yeah, I was watching the clip of Slave Night Gale, and you know, listen, I don't even know how many tries. I don't count my tries, okay? Because I don't know, but it was like I was watching that and I was like, that's insane. And you're just sitting here like, is it? It was like my favorite part. It was like the like it was like setting and like you're like, is it? Did I do that? You know, kind of like that moment. And y'all have also raised a ton of money for charities. I'd love to hear about that from you and Jazz.
Yeah. A couple years ago, I guess it was 2022. When Roe v. Wade was overturned, we were feeling super helpless. Didn't really know how to like take actionable like steps to fix what was happening, and so we decided that we would raise money for abortion access. We did a randomized co-op. Well, I think the first day was just co-op, not randomized, because we hadn't beaten the game yet. We both still hadn't beaten the game. So
it was before we got partnered. And
you didn't beat the game yet, and you did.
Yeah, we hadn't beaten it yet, and so we just started with like co-op, and we raised. I think like that first day we raised like $10,000.
It was over 10K. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that summer we just every Friday night, or like Friday, we started a randomized co-op playthrough, because at that point I think we had finished the game, and we were raising money for like a little over a month, maybe, or a couple of months, and we ultimately raised over $20,000, which we're super proud of. And that's why we got our matching tattoos.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that. Congrats, man. You know, I feel like what's really cool about Twitch I came from the music business. I did music full time for 10 years before the pandemic shut it down, right? And so I'm used to like venues, right? Or, you know, booking shows at places and events. And I do, I've been fundraising since I was a small child because my mom had cancer and I was raising money for that, right? And so I'm not new to charity. You know, it's kind of it's like embedded in me at this point. But what I love is that there's no ceiling. There's no limit on Twitch. You don't have how many people can we fit in this room?
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And anybody who's passing through, even if they don't have the money at the time, you're making an impact by raising awareness about the causes that you're speaking and passionate about. And I've found, you know, that there's just no limit to the amount of good that you can do with your platform, because it's like you have no idea who's going to pass through that day. I mean, when we're streaming, right, it's we're wanting to be our authentic selves. We're wanting to be on our element. We're not thinking about every single person that's coming in and out, right? You don't know who, like, unless they're actively chatting from beginning to end, you don't know who's there. And you truly don't know how many people you've helped as well. And I hope y'all, each one of you, remember that even not even only from a charity standpoint, but from the inspiration that you give others that watch what you're doing, from playing the game to being a good role model and a good example of what you know, a strong woman is like. That helps anybody who sees it to say like, oh, wow, they're really out here. That representation matters, you know? And that's why I wanted to get us all in one place, because I feel like, you know, it's so strong to see everybody doing their thing individually, but whenever you show like a united front, I think that's when really like a lot of change happens, like the Unity guilds with Twitch and how we're getting more visibility for the Twitch Black Guild and Twitch Latin Guild, the Twitch Women's Guild, because you see more of that diversity on the front page. You see more, instead of whenever people Google Twitch, it's not going to be the same thing that it has been. You know, you don't have to explain like, oh, like this is actually, you know, this is the kind of content I make, you know, almost feel like whenever you're talking about what you do, that you have to, that it needs a follow up sometimes, like to kind of specify. And I really love that. And today, you know, having the 1,000 Dreams Fund is really, oh, thank you, John. That was perfect timing there. Can we get some mod love in the chat too? Honestly, like this is, I couldn't do this without them. But today's charity is 1,000 Dreams Fund, Broadcast Her initiative, supporting women and femmes, including cis women, trans femmes, and all those who face disparities and discrimination in correlation to misogyny and identity as they pursue their dreams of content creation. You can donate there. It goes directly, you know, to I've seen Broadcaster. I've worked with 1DF. I've met them. They're awesome, and it goes directly into the hands of people who need it. And I love that. And we're going to be able to see the effects of that within the next year, which is so cool, you know, because when they start giving out the grants, we're gonna be like, oh, we were a part of that. We helped with that, and then you can see the faces to that, you know. And with charity, sometimes it's like, you were talking earlier about how we can feel out of control. And I feel like with the Soulsborne games, they help us too to feel in control, right? You can have the whole world like kind of spinning around, but then you have this challenge and you can control that. And you can try and try and try, and you know that it's not if, it's when, and you'll finally get it, right? And it's the same thing with, even though, you know, we might not be able to control anything else that happens in the world, but we can control what we do with our content. And I just, huge round of applause for y'all and what you're doing with yours, because it's really fun to see, you know, everybody doing their own thing and being so different, but also, you know, making a difference and making an impact. And that's really awesome. I wanted to see, what's your next like big challenge, or like what are you most looking forward to Is it the DLC? Is it any? And are you? Do you want to do any running, like challenge running? You know, what is it? And you want to start us off, Jess? You know what you want to do
Sure.
next?
I'm definitely gonna do DLC. It's been my dream always to do DS1 hit list. That's like the number one run I want to learn. And I know a couple folks who have done that, so that's top of my list. But I think also I'm gonna do some fun, like just random modded playthroughs of Elden Ring, like as the DLC approaches. After I finish Final Fantasy, and in my spare time before DLC drops, that's what I'm gonna do. Like weapon shufflers, double bosses, that sort of stuff. That will also be good for YouTube. That's my plan. I'm excited to shift gears back into Soulsborne.
That's awesome,
In a
dude.
little while. Yeah.
That's so much, though. Like you just listed like
fun!
3 things.
Well, I like to have options. I'm not gonna try
No.
to do every single thing, but yeah, I want to have options.
I love that. I love that. And what about you, Lindsay?
I'm definitely doing DLC. I'm doing my first ever strength build in preparation for DLC. I'm a Dex girly through and through. I love a fast, swishy weapon, and so I want to do like colossal weapon, like big, get some good staggers in for my like prep for the DLC. But I really want to try challenge running Sekiro. I want to do Deathless. I think I could do it. I mean, I think it will be hard, but I definitely think I could do it. And Jess and I started a 2-player
Oh yeah.
2-player one
No
controller run of
way.
DS1. We did it for
Mhm.
charity. We raised money for PCRF in November, I think.
Seems
And
so long ago.
we got all the way to ONS and we didn't
Mhm.
beat them, but I think we
They
could.
didn't do bad.
We
It was
did
just
a pretty good job. So I think it would be fun
yeah.
to finish that. And we have also talked about maybe trying to do like something wild with that, like maybe
Yeah.
Deathless or like Hitless or something if we
Because we
really
got all the way through Sen's Fortress easily.
So I think we could
Like,
do it. So that's sort
yeah.
of like my big thing is DLC and I want to do Sekiro Deathless, but
Wow.
the stuff with Jess would be fun too.
We should revisit that.
Yeah.
Especially if we make
Maybe
it,
like a charity goal. Like, hey, if y'all reach
Well, I was gonna say
something.
we should do a charity stream. Like we haven't done one in a while. That could be a
Yeah.
fun thing to do. to
Oh,
raise
that's
money.
awesome. I love 2-person one controller is so wild.
Yeah, we did it on the
I was
Switch,
gonna
so
say
we could each have a
Joy-Con.
Joy-Con, which is nice.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, DS1 runs pretty well on the Switch.
No.
I agree. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remember that for like the next time I'm on a plane. What about you?
Yeah.
What about you, Pixie?
So I had a charity incentive a little while back to do a Dark Souls 3 dance pad stream. And I've been trying
Fun.
to tinker with the dance pad and get it all configured, but I've run into a couple speed bumps, so I'm working on that. But like Lindsay, I plan to do a fresh like remembrance boss playthrough of Elden Ring to prep for the DLC. And then after I play through the DLC, I'm gonna start my rune level 1 run of Elden Ring so I could do the base game and then the
Yay!
DLC after. So
Yes!
it's gonna be a Tarnished Girl summer, and I am so here
Tarnished
for
Girl
it.
Summer! Yeah!
So
Let's
cute.
go. Can we get some hype in the chat for Tarnished Girl Summer? Because I am living for that. That's amazing. What about you, Paige?
Ooh, okay, so definitely the DLC. That is going to be amazing.
Are
Very
you going to run a
exciting.
mage?
Probably, I don't know. That's been kind of the question is, do I keep going with my character I've started, keep going with the new game plus, or like do I start a whole new run? I don't really know. I was thinking of like even starting like one of the randomized runs or something at some point.
They're
Those
so
seem
fun. They're so
Yeah.
fun.
intense, but a good time. I also just kind of need to play through the Dark Souls series for the first time, so I'd love to.
Yeah, the Dark Souls like whole thing. You know what's so funny and is that I haven't played 1 or 2.
Really?
Okay, I have to say, if you haven't played DS3, I beg
I
you
have.
to play DS1 first because DS3 is a love letter to DS1 in the best way, and it was like, yeah, just play DS1 first. It's janky, it's kind of clunky,
I
but
already
it will make your
did.
DS3 experience so much better.
I feel like I
Totally.
lost out on a lot of the DS3 like love.
Well, it's a good reason to like play just one. Then it's a good reason to
Yeah,
replay.
Revisit-
DS3.
to
Yeah.
revisit it.
No,
Yeah.
I think that that's for sure something that I want to do because I want to know more of the lore. It was kind of it lost me a little bit, you know, like especially since some of the side quests that you do are obvious ongoing from the first game, you know, and you're just like, huh? Like what kind of like you're not as invested in the characters or in the stories you know, especially when you bring them to like the Firelink Shrine. And I was like, okay, wait, who's doing what? I got the premise really straightforward, but then I was like, okay, I'm gonna, I need to play Dark Souls 1. I really do. I've watched a lot of it, you know, so because it's really fun to see, especially like the challenges and whatnot. It brings me, watching Dark Souls 1 makes me feel nostalgic for something I haven't experienced, which I don't know if there's a word for that. I don't know. It's because like I look at everybody on here and I'm like, man, what if I had this growing up, you know, what if I wish I had seen, you know, Twitch growing up, or like gotten into this, you know, sooner, or found this group of people sooner, you know, like, wow, that would have been so different. You know, because like you, Jesse, if people, I was used to like being like told like, you know, like, hey, yeah, like, you know, sit quiet, like tone it down, especially, you know, whatever. And now I get to like actually be myself fully, and with all the reactions and the true honest experience, and find other people that like the same things I do. And I think that that's really, really cool. So I love watching the old games, and it kind of puts me in a place of like, this is what it looked like. This is where it all started. You know, it's really, really inspiring. I don't know. I think that I'm really looking forward to the DLC the most. Did you all have any theories on it after watching the trailers? Anything that kind of came out to you that you would want to share?
I don't know. I want to know who's talking at the end. Like, everybody's like, oh, it's Nepheli. Oh, it's Nepheli. I don't think so, dude.
Yeah. I want to know, like, is Mikola really the bad guy? I don't know if we can trust Mikola.
I'm getting Major
Mikola is the
Griffith
bad guy.
vibes from Mikola.
Yeah.
Like Berserk reference, like full circle Griffith vibes.
Yeah.
Because like the whole people loved him so much, and then that's like part of his power.
Yeah.
It's like, why'd you love him? Did you love him because you wanted to? Or were you under some sort of spell? You know, like,
do you really love the lamp?
Do you really love him?
And I'm excited to do like a martial arts build, like that.
The kung fu, dude. What?
I want to do a martial arts build so bad.
When I saw the kicking, I wanted to die. I was like, what? Why are we? What's happening?
Yeah, I watched the trailer with Nandre because I was in LA at the time.
Oh,
We watched
fun.
it together, and we saw that. We were like, oh, this is the takeaway. The martial arts is the takeaway.
Yes. So 100%. I love that. Anybody else? What are y'all gonna do? What are you getting into with the DLC? What are you thinking?
Like, I wasn't thinking, because I'm a Dex girl as well. Like, I always go Dex.
Roll
like,
build?
It's like, yeah, like Lindsay said, like, it's just so quick and fun. I love it. You know, you're so agile. But in the trailer, I remember seeing like this like pink butterfly magic, and my heart like exploded. I'm like, hello, I might have to play a mage, because that is so cool.
Yeah.
It's too pretty to not try.
Oh, that's so true.
Good point.
Why are they so pretty?
I know the magic, especially in Elden Ring, is so beautiful.
Top tier.
The beautiful purple, the blue, it's so nice.
Oh my gosh. I feel like if I were to ever do, you know, a magic run, because I'm just like, I'm just such a Dex girl. But I would definitely choose Elden Ring for that, because of I feel like it has so many different options, you know, that you can be like, oh, okay, I want to do it this way, I want to do it this way. But I definitely I think the most that I'm looking forward to the DLC is kind of like the resurgence of popularity in the game, because, you know, people always like look for it, and it's such an exciting time when so many people are playing Elden Ring, and you get the new fans in too, and then they go to other games like Bloodborne or like the Dark Souls series, and because they're like, oh well, I tried this one, and that was really accessible. So what we know that, okay, Bloodborne was your first game, Jess. Was it yours too, Lindsay?
Yeah, it was.
It was your first game, and
Mhm.
you started with Dark Souls 3, Pixie?
Yeah.
Okay. What was
Elden
your first?
Ring.
Elden Ring was your first one. Right. Okay, cool. And Bloodborne was my first one. So, do you think that like having your first gaming experience in the Soul world, do you think that it's kind of like automatically your favorite? Like nothing
I think
will
it's a myth.
replace
No.
that.
That's a myth. That's a myth.
It's a myth.
No, because
Yeah.
Sekiro's my favorite.
Ah.
And I just like the reason I played any of them at all is because I like the vibe and the world and the design of Bloodborne. Like I don't really care about the fantasy Dark Souls world.
Mm.
I just don't care. The games are amazing. I love the games, but that is like why it's like a weird bias. But I don't think it's because I played it first as my favorite. It just is my favorite. I think that like your first experience, in a Soulsborne game is really special, and that can definitely like influence people to have their first be their favorite. But I don't think that's always the case.
Oh, I that's awesome. That's a really good take. I feel like my favorite will always be Bloodborne, and I think that I think you're right. If I had played something else, I think I still would have my favorite be Bloodborne. I just love the aesthetic. I love the story. It's spoopy. I don't usually like spoopy things. I'm usually a big baby when it comes to scary stuff, actually, but like for some
really?
reason. Yeah, dude, but the Eldritch horror, like, I don't know, I love it. It's so cool. And there's nothing like the sound of the visceral.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe Bloodborne is 9 years old.
Yeah. No, it's insane.
So weird.
That's
wild.
That's wild. Absolutely wild. Well, I wanted to before I I set you free, you lovely ladies, I wanted to play a game.
Oh yeah.
So, chat, do you want to see a slumber party, a St. Trina's slumber party game? We got put one in chat if you're ready for a game time. Because I put together these. I thought that it might be fun for us to play a game. So this one is called the Mimic Challenge. It's charades. So we are gonna be playing the Mimic Challenge. Now let's see. What I'm gonna do is this is up to you, y'all. Do you want only the chat to guess, and then everybody knows, like we all know what you're doing, or do you want to guess too? Because either way, like one, I can just DM the person what their prompt is, or I can put it in our Discord. Is the only difference, I guess.
I don't know.
Or we could do teams.
Chat want to?
I don't know what the best way is.
It's up to you. You tell us. You want everyone to guess, Umbri? Okay. Umbrialty is also doing, she'll be on the group 3. Let's go. Oh, look, it's Lint. Ugh. I have a right behind me. On the screen.
Day 3 of
Lindsay.
my Lady Butterfly fight when I finally beat her.
I absolutely love the is it done?
Yeah, I was like, did I do it?
Tell me that you've been traumatized by the Sister Frida fight without telling me that you've been traumatized by that fight. Oh man. Okay, so I'm gonna start out. Let's see. Pick a number between 1 and 10. You go first, Lindsay.
7.
7. Okay. Jess.
3.
Okay. Pixie.
I love how both of you, in order, took both of the numbers I was thinking of. I'll take number 8.
8. Okay. What about you?
Let's do 2.
Okay. All right. The number was 10. So Pixie wins. You were so close. You were so close. Okay. So Pixie, let's pull up your DM with me. Okay. And while we're gonna give her like a second to look at the prompt, and then she'll have to do charades and chat. This is the mimic challenge. Okay, so you're going to have to try to guess what Pixi is doing or who she is.
Oh God.
This is gonna be so fun.
And it's
I'm glad-
FromSoft. It's all
I'm glad
FromSoft, okay?
Pixi's going first and not me.
Yeah.
I'm only brave because I have to be.
You're gonna do great. You're gonna do great.
You got this. You got this. 100%. All right. Okay. So hype in the chat for Pixi. And Pixi, you got your DM, right? Okay.
Yeah, I have it. open.
Okay. Let's see how specific I can get. I will give y'all points. Oh my gosh! Was that 10,000 bits?
Oh my goodness!
Oh my god,
That's a lot of bits.
that's a ton of bits.
Where'd you get all those bits? Holy cow, Mamba! Happy Women's Month! Oh my gosh! Holy cow, that's huge! Thank you so much for your supporting. No reason. Okay, bye. Okay. I need to recover. Oh my gosh. Jeez. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. Your support makes things like this possible. I appreciate you so much. Today, you know, we're gathering together. This honestly was such a passion project, y'all. I confided in each and every one of these lovely humans right here that I was so nervous because this is my first time doing anything like this. And so thank you for believing in me and trusting me for this. And thank you so much, Mamba, for the support. I don't know what's redder, my face or my hair. I don't know. I'm so grateful. But no, also if anybody feels the compulsion to go above and beyond with support, today we are fundraising for 1DF, and it's an awesome cause. And you can do command donate to check them out. Any amount helps. And if you're not in a place to donate right now, that's totally cool. You can also spread the word on social media by, you know, sharing the stream. We're going to be going on for another 5 hours. So it's a 12-hour stream today. I wanted to make sure I could fit everybody on. And can we get also some hype in the chat for these amazing guests that we have today? Honestly, it's surreal. You know, whenever I was talking to my mom about it, and I was like, it's crazy to me that the same people that I've looked up to and I've seen, like I've watched, you know, on, and I'm like, yeah, and I get to be in the guild with and everything. It's just insane to me to like have everybody here at the same time. You know, it's just kind of like it's like a dream come true, you know. I know that sounds really cheesy, but it's really cool because it's like, hey, we get to be together, you know. Oh no, can I mute that or no? Can I mute that ad or stop it? Is that a hi? Oh my gosh.
Green.
I know. I love this.
She's like, this is normally when I'm doing things, because I switched up her schedule today, so she's confused.
know,
But she's here.
She's so precious. Give me all the animals. I hold on. Pet. Wait. Pet. So
Oh,
weird.
yeah. Oh, and her name is Flora after the secret name of Moon Presence in Bloodborne.
I love that. Oh, did you see the where did I put? I don't trust myself to get up right now, but the Blood Echoes book from Toon and Fairweather I totally got, and it's
Yes.
It's so beautiful.
We
did
both
you
have
get
it?
it? Oh
Yeah.
Isn't it gorgeous? In the
It's
red
incredible.
pages. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
insane. Oh, I that's so cool. I love that you named your dog after. You see, I named my dog Sif.
Oh, cute!
Aw.
Yeah, so I have a Sif, and I love him. So Tiltify is weird. I'm sorry. Is it giving you a hard time? What's it doing? Okay, tell me. I want to make sure the ad's up. Can somebody let me know? Because we need all of Well, I mean, actually, it might not count because we have picture in picture, and you know, you can't talk anyway. You let us know when you're ready, though, Pixie. Do you feel ready? Yes.
Gotta do one last thing.
Okay. Okay. We're getting in character here. I love it.
Slightly.
So chat, keep in mind that this is FromSoft themed, but it could be any of the games, and then also it could be like a multiple thing, like somebody doing something. So just keep that in mind. Laura's in my lap too. Wait.
Yeah, she is.
Where's my hand? Why is this so hard?
You are so good.
She's so good.
I like it.
And she's gone.
She's like, okay, all right. Okay. I think that we're
Now, just clarifying, I can't say any words, right?
no words.
Okay. I'll do my best.
Okay, are we ready, chat? And don't forget that you can absolutely guess. Okay, we want you to guess. Let's see if who's gonna be faster. If it could be chat. It's chat against the Soul Sisters. Okay, how's that? Let's see if we can get it faster. All right, on your mark.
All right.
Get set, go.
Who has a beard?
Who has a beard?
I can't say anything. Y'all have to guess. Y'all have to. Okay, you can keep repeating it. You can keep repeating whatever you just did.
What?
Oh my gosh! Wait, look at the chat, Pixie. Did anybody get it?
Yeah.
Ah! John put Andre getting attacked.
Oh.
Oh, that's good.
Nice. Pixie, why'd you change it? I thought it was a good choice, or that's a good look. That's
I mean, I can go
crazy. You did such a good job. That's crazy that somebody got it like off of that, you know, because that means that you're really good at charade. Did you practice? Are you good? Like, you know, like
Secret master.
I see.
Clearly.
I loved the look too. That was absolutely perfect.
I
Okay.
figured without the beard, it would be kind of hard. I don't know. I figured it was a
beard
good clue.
helped.
No, absolutely. I agree. Let's see. Okay. Who's gonna go next? Who guessed 7? It was you?
I did.
You did? Okay.
It was Lindsay.
All right, Lindsay. All right, get your message up. I'm about to send you yours.
Okay.
I can't
Got
believe,
this.
I'm so happy that somebody got that, because I was like, when I was writing these prompts, right, I was like, man, I don't want to be too specific, but if I'm not, like, it's gonna be lame, you know, like like if I did like the first thing I was like, okay, drink from Estes flask, and it's like whatever, you know, it takes too long. It's just I wanted it to be. I'm glad that now I know, chat, what your level is, and so I can stay on that. All right, okay, Lindsay, we ready?
You know
Okay.
their level. You don't know my talent level.
Okay, all right. Let's see. I'm gonna give you.
I'm scared.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, chat. So don't forget, you can also guess. You're gonna try to beat us, you know.
I'm Googling
Some of
so I
us,
can get a good
some of us
image.
wouldn't know because we're not NPC attacking degenerates. Well, you've never attacked an NPC on accident. I've done that maybe once or twice. I mean, Paige, have you ever attacked an NPC?
So I'm trying to think. I'm like, have I really? Not like intentionally, but maybe on accident.
Oh, I kill patches in every game.
That's fair. That's valid.
Yeah.
I
He
mean,
deserves it.
he's basically, he's basically a part of the quest line to do that, right? That's just like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Oh man. But whenever you let us know whenever you are
Ready?
ready.
Okay, yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Do I have more of your camera? Hold on.
I don't think you do.
Godric the Grafted.
Do it again. Keep going.
That's a good guess.
No, I don't think you do because I have my green screen cropped weird. Or
Two words. First word. Writing. Pen.
Writing a message.
Pen.
2 words.
Second word.
Circle.
Circle.
Curlies.
Pen spiral. Pen orb.
Orange.
Pen.
Dodging. Iframes.
Sun. No.
Arc. Rune arc. Pen.
Pineapple apple pen. Pen.
Llama got it.
I got it.
Oh.
I was trying to do all of this little like.
Well, you say pen like pin.
I know, but I didn't know how to do like.
No, you're right. I don't know how.
Good. That was really good.
I mean, I was trying to do all of his arms. I was thinking like, do I have like props? I was like,
yeah.
what could I use to like make more arms? But-
Can I like how do I develop more arms over here at this point? Yeah. Okay. I think that Paige, what was your number?
I think I picked 2.
So it's
I'm
Jess's turn. Okay. All right, Jess, let
Okay.
me pull up our thing here. What innocent NPCs have you murdered? According to chat,
I don't
just
know.
NPC murderers over here.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't know. Is that such a crime?
Sometimes they ask for it, like Alexander. Okay.
True. God. That's...
Listen, Mr. Jar is
Our friend.
is an excellent buddy, old pal.
No, I love him. But
Okay.
he literally asks you to murder him.
Yeah.
He does ask for it, yeah.
He does. An honorable death.
You want you want to be like, you want to go out like Radon versus going out like
Exactly.
Rykard, right? Like you could be a Radon or a Rykard. That's what I'm just saying. Okay, we have. Okay, I'm writing this for you.
Is this in our DMs or where?
Yeah, I'm DMing you. And what is like, while I am putting this in Jess's DMs, what I would love for you, Pixi, to tell any like your funniest on-stream moment, or with any of the FromSoft games, or like whenever you're starting. Can you think about anything funny that's ever happened to you in the if the game is glitched before, or anything like that, or anything you didn't know that was gonna happen?
So there was one time, I think it might even be in my channel trailer this moment, but when I was playing Elden Ring and I was in Caelid, which is obviously everyone's favorite spot in the game, I was riding around and there was a couple of those, I don't know what they're called. They're like those big like T-Rex dogs with the tiny arms,
Yeah.
whatever they're called.
Scooby-Doos.
Yeah,
Scooby-Doos.
I like that. The Scooby-Doos. They were like, I was just trying to ride through somewhere and get away from them. And I don't know why, but they were stuck on me like glue. And I jumped with Torren and they literally both like at the same time shoved me off the edge of a cliff and I died.
That's
Like
awesome.
they just would not leave me alone. It was ridiculous.
That's what I was thinking of. I think when I was Did you ever think did y'all ever think that you had to like kill all the enemies in a game and then finally realize that you can just run past them?
Oh yeah, it took me way
Yes.
too long in my Bloodborne playthrough to realize I could just
Garnum.
run to the boss.
Yeah. Yeah. Way too long.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm trying to think. Okay.
Okay. One time, I mean, I have plenty a moment when I just was kind of, it took me off guard, with the enemies. I feel like I get jump scared a lot in these games. I mean, going into the, when you have to be in the tower to turn everything upside down again, and you go into the elevator shaft and the hand jumps out at you, which by the way, those are my least favorite enemies of all of them because it's so I have arachnophobia and it's so other than actual spiders, okay, and I don't know why it's so gross, but and they're just everywhere and they hit hard and I don't like it. What is your least favorite enemy in the game at all? Like any mobs that you hate?
Brain suckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think I die more to brain suckers in the Upper Cathedral Ward than I do anywhere else in Bloodborne.
Oh, that's so true. Going to try to get the Vicar Amelia opening.
I hate the little stone imps
Oh yeah.
in Elden Ring that are in all the
in the
They're
dungeons.
and they're also
annoying.
in Dark Souls 3. They're just the worst because they're so fast and fickle. I don't know. I hate them.
Especially as a dex build. When you have to do anything with the stone. Guys, oh my gosh. Oh, the Revenants, yeah, bats. Those guys suck. But what about you, Paige? Do you have a least favorite mob boss?
That's what I'm trying to think. I'm like, I
Just
don't know.
all
I
of
feel like
them?
I just died to just so many of the the random mobs, even in the beginning area in Bloodborne, so many times.
Totally. That
Yeah,
first area is a doozy.
It's
It's
rough.
the hardest first level for sure. I think that in Elden Ring it was too the birds in with the knife, the sword feet birds, eagles,
Yes.
they sucked.
Yeah.
When they went with the exploding
enemies.
barrels and you have to get
Dude.
Oh, that's a rough spot. I also don't like the basilisks.
oh, the
So
basilisks.
frustrating.
The scariest one for me is definitely the berserk looking guy, the banshee looking guy in the Bloodborne Chalice dungeons, who runs at you
Oh.
like
They run
Yes.
so fast.
I love
Freaky.
those.
What?
I love them because they're so scary and
They're
creepy. I
so
love them.
They use a
scary.
body as a weapon, don't they?
I love
They
them.
do,
or
like the
something?
trolls do. And one time I was like, what is that munching noise? Because I'm super sound sensitive, with my ADHD. One of the things is I have super high auditory aural sensitivity, and I was like, okay, I can hear little tiny sounds and stuff, and I heard this munching sound and I was like, what is that? I have to explore that. I have to find out what that is. And I was on a staircase going into probably an FRC dungeon, right, trying to get some blood gems and stuff, and I'm on the staircase and I pan my camera around and there's one of those banshee guys and he has the body like this and he's eating it, and it's so you hear the munching, and I was just like, okay. That's terrifying. I think that's the most. I was like, this is giving me just the creeps. Holy, but are you ready? Ready, Jess?
I'm ready.
Okay, all right.
Okay. I'm gonna try one thing first, and if that doesn't take, I'll do plan B.
Okay, all right, go for it.
Okay.
Solaire.
Gold mask.
Wow.
I'm very proud.
Let's
I did gold
go.
mask. I did the entire gold mask quest on my first playthrough without without a walkthrough. I just lucked upon
Yes.
him.
What?
So, and I loved
I
his
still have never
shirt.
done that quest.
I loved his shirt. I wore it to finish the game. It shows off a lot.
When I got Sav's DM, I was like, Lindsay's gonna get this.
That's awesome.
I love gold mask.
That was so fast. You know, like that's crazy though, because then you would have to meet him in specific places each time you did it.
Yeah, I got so lucky. I don't know. I'm very thorough. I walk around a lot. I'm also very slow at these games because I just take my time and I look at everything.
What's
And
your
I take
favorite
lots
part
of
about doing
notes.
that? You take notes in a notebook, right?
Yeah, because I just think like they put everything. There's nothing in these games that they put somewhere that's like random for the most part. Like
No.
everything has a space. It has a place for a reason, and I really like finding secrets and
Figuring things
I don't know,
out,
trying to
puzzling it together.
figure out the story.
I love that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Paige.
Okay.
I'm trying to decide how we. Okay, I'm gonna give you. Let me pull up our here thing here. Okay.
Let's see.
Lindsay, I love that you got that so fast. Making my life easier.
Okay. Here's Paige's. I think that taking notes, it's kind of like keeping your own quest log, right? Because you know, Elden Ring doesn't give you anything. Bloodborne doesn't give you anything. Elden Ring at least gives you a map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get it, Paige?
Yes. I'm like, okay. Okay.
Or let me just let me know when you're ready. You know, take your time. You
All
ready
right.
to go
You know,
for it? Okay.
we're just gonna go for it.
Okay,
You know,
chat,
This
get
is
ready.
Mika Lash.
like on the ground. There we go. Sorry.
Oh, Tibia Mariner.
oh.
Try-
Like
it's
Frenzied
think,
Flame
chat?
or something?
What do you think, chat?
Oh.
It's not great chest, is it?
Like how else can I do this? I gotta sing, you know?
I know.
I need to be like on the ground for this, you know? We need to be
I
on
know,
the
that's what I
floor,
was saying
right?
here.
Like
If they don't-
It does those bats that like sing
Oh,
like
yeah.
is it those?
In
Is that
Elden
what you're
Ring?
I don't know what they're called.
it's a tough one. I gave you the hardest one because of where you have to be.
I'm like, okay. I like
See,
what else did they do? Gosh, I just did this fight that not that long ago too.
Oh.
The twin
Wait,
princes.
look at the chat.
Oh, is it a sweeting? A sweeting, maybe?
Oh.
Okay, wait, yes, we got one in chat. We got one in chat. We got one in chat. No, I'm amazed that you got that. I'm
Yes, and
incredibly
bats
impressed.
too,
I'm
the
like, I
ankle
need
biters.
to be like on the ground singing. Like,
I forget that they sing.
Yeah, I do too.
I know they say weird things.
They sing and throw books at you. I love it. Hello, women's power. Woo! Oh my gosh, Llama's killing it out here. I think that you deserve a, like, wasn't that two? Nice. That was great. I loved the pleading. That was perfect. Good
throw a
job.
book.
Oh,
That's a
man.
good one too.
Oh,
Right.
to throw a book. That's really funny.
I thought maybe I was like, if I you know, get these prompts, what would I do? I wanted to make sure that like I wrote something that was like possible, I guess, you know? Okay.
You should do one.
Me?
You should do one. Yeah.
Oh, well,
If you
have
want.
to, I don't know which one to do. Well, like just pick one, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay.
And we'll have the chat debuff because we can't see you except on your stream.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Okay.
So
okay.
we're on an even playing field.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 because I'm just gonna see who can answer me the quickest. Okay. Let me change this view over here real fast. A little bit wide. Let me widen things out. I'm gonna. Hey, I'm in your lap. Over here. What's up? Hello. Sorry. Excuse me. I'm so sorry.
Thea, right? No.
Oh, make contact.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good one. Good one. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. I was like, I know that y'all are gonna get that one quick. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Does anybody else want one more turn? Because I have another prompt. Anybody else? Me? Oh gosh, this is backfiring. I thought I was gonna be putting y'all through this, you know. It's like when I get a taste of my own medicine. Okay. Okay. This one is. Okay. 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 All right. Oh my gosh, I was gonna do that. Llama, you can't. How are you so good that you're like literally like predicting it before I even do it? That's insane.
So funny.
Oh my gosh, I was literally someone do an impression of Elden Ring. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, hold on. If anybody has anything for me to put it in the Discord and this if you can think of anything. But okay, yeah, I had Fia's hug, make contact, blood vial. But yeah, you know, I was like running away with the stars. Okay, here's one.
Where is she going? Oh, a bath messenger. Did she hear me?
Perfect. That was good.
Okay.
Oh
Nice.
10 out of 10.
Nice. That was actually a Bat's suggestion, so awesome. Like that was so good.
It was a perfect impression.
It was. I like that you got down on the floor. That was
Yeah.
a lot, actually.
Right? I'm like, dang, I should have done that, right?
It's you know we gotta be committed to the bit, right? That's like to make it go. Well, I just wanted to for the any last notes. I just wanted to see if we could open it up to the chat to see if you have any questions for our awesome group of soul sisters here and Twitch Women's Guild members. It's so cool to all be together and in one place. I think that's awesome. It's such a cool resource also to anybody who's like wants to know about streaming or being a woman in this industry, and also make sure that you're checking out the charity. You can do, let me see, command charity in the chat. But yeah, this is if anybody has any questions or also, oh my gosh, okay, you're so on it. Thank you, John. Mad love, I love it. But yeah, so if anybody has any questions, including y'all, do you like anything that y'all want to know or that you want to cover that maybe we didn't go over? But oh, thanks, Llama Flesh, you're so awesome.
I'll just say that it's really great to just have like, I don't know, a group of people here with just like, I don't know, different levels of experience, and like, some of us have done like more challenge runs and some, are a little bit newer, and it's just kind of great to have like a variety of experiences, and it's great. So thanks for doing
the
this.
same way.
Yeah, I
Yeah, thanks for
agree.
having us, and like it's been so nice to just chat with y'all about this stuff.
Oh, I'm so glad. It is really, it's just cool, right? And like you said, it's anybody can play these games, and you can play however you want. Don't listen to the naysayers who say like, oh, summons is cringe, or like, oh, magic is blah blah, or you know,
Don't be
Carl
afraid of
won or
dying.
bust.
They all
Every-
sound just like that too.
Yes,
All
me,
of
me, me,
Yeah.
Just letting you know, if you ever troll anybody, that's how we read your voice in our heads.
Yeah.
But no, it's true. Okay, Mr. Alicia wants to know why I'm mimicking his voice, but also what your favorite swamp is and why your favorite swamp.
I don't know. Lake of Rot's kind of cool with that.
Yeah, I
theme.
think maybe Lake of Rot is my favorite.
Why?
I died in there so many times, but also my favorite armor piece is found in Lake of Rot. So
Mushroom
I would say
crown?
yes, the mushroom crown.
I knew it.
Oh, I love that whole side.
Oh, that's
I'm just
awesome.
excited for the new swamp in the DLC. So.
I know.
Yeah,
Kelly
me too.
Deathlight Swamp, right?
It's a what? Is it a sleep swamp?
I thought it looked like a Deathblight Swamp.
A
to me,
I
Deathblight
but-
think there
swamp?
might also be a sleep swamp though. When that
Yeah,
like
I wouldn't be
person is
surprised.
laying
That's what I was
in
thinking.
the ground, maybe.
With all
Yeah.
the flowers,
Mm-hmm.
with the lilies. Yeah, I was like, Oh man, y'all's are the Scarlet Rock. What about you, Pixie?
I mean, honestly, I hate all of them.
Fair.
But I don't know. I think I'm just going to circle back to Dark Souls 3 just because that was my first experience with how fun, how frustrating they can be.
That is totally.
Especially those big guys. Like those huge, there's like 2 or 3 of them, those huge guys that just like, I don't know, I just hate the way that like they have so much range and they just come at you and it's, you're all slowed and poisoned. It sucks.
Yeah.
You're trying to do your nice little step with a dagger and all that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I had it in my head that I had to kill every boss for some reason, and it ended up really backfiring on me, especially or every enemy, sorry. And then I was like, oh, these crabs, I can kill these crabs, right? And I spent half a stream trying to kill one of the crabs in the Dark Souls 3 swamps right outside the Crystal Mage. And I was
they,
so
burrow
mad.
away.
Yes! And you have to like chase them, and then the little crab
Yeah.
babies trying to come get you. And yeah, I don't know. But for like a favorite swamp, I hate them all. I hate them all. I think the Lake of Rot is like really cool looking though.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the red. I don't know. What and Edwin wants to know who's the most relatable character?
Relatable.
Roderica.
Roderica. Why?
Because she doesn't believe in herself, and that's my big problem.
Lindsay!
Aww.
Yeah, she talks about how she's always scared and she's a craven, and I'm like, I'm always scared of these games.
Hey, that's
I would
valid.
say for me, it's Maria and Melania and all of the tall, mean ladies, because I am a tall, mean lady, and I love that. I love the tall. I don't know if Sister Frida's tall, but anyway, the tall FromSoftware ladies, I feel seen.
Yes. I love it when your character is right next to Melania, like you walk up to her and you're just like, hi,
Yeah.
It's like the coolest thing ever. Like seeing that, I'm like, this is to scale for me, actually, for player character and Melania, because I'm a short, mean lady. But I love, like, that's what's one of my favorite things about these games is like the powerful like women bosses. I'm like, yeah, you're so cool. Another one, it's not a FromSoft, but it's a Souls, like the Liza P. Luxasia. How do I say?
Luxasia.
Luxasia.
I haven't finished Liza
So
P yet,
cool.
but I've heard
I need to
legend of
also.
her.
Like, you've heard the legend of Luxasia. I can't wait to see when you get there. Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah,
So
She
cool.
is so cool.
What's your most relatable character, Pixie?
If we're talking like from software, I would say I think it's the Katarina Knight. Sigvard.
Oh yeah,
I need
just because just because he's always sitting there thinking, and I feel like I need to think a lot before I do things, and like I
Yes.
just like I love it.
Hmm.
That's so fun.
Very pensive, you know.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Do you think he's an introvert or an extrovert?
I don't know.
I mean, he hides on like you can't even see like a speck of his body
Right.
because of his armor. So I don't know. He seems kind of reserved.
He doesn't talk too much, right?
But then when he runs into battle,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He's like, I don't know.
Right. He's very brave, but like he could be introverted for like people, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, huh? You know, like, is he misunderstood? Does he, you know, like, is that why is he hiding his face? But I love him so much. He brings me so much joy. So much joy. What about you, Paige?
Ooh, probably like Ronnie the Witch. You know, she's got cool magic and she sleeps a lot, right? Like
Yeah.
I
She's
love
great.
that. She's got cool magic and she sleeps a lot. I mean, if you could turn yourself into like a little doll, would you?
It'd be kind of creepy, but I guess if you could maybe turn back, like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
'cause
you
I
totally
know?
turn back.
yeah, I guess.
I don't
Like,
know.
be different.
I
I don't
don't.
know. Do really well in a horror movie.
Oh yeah, that's true. I
True.
see. My whole thing is that like, what if like you don't see? It doesn't seem to me that like people really get the like even Ronnie's like, where am I? Like, what are you doing? Like, you know, like I mean, I would be like, oh, kind of along for the ride. I guess it would depend on like who you're around when the transformation takes place, but it's not a bad way to like to hide, you know, right? So I don't know. I always say that I would be kind of like I would love to be like a shapeshifter if I had a superpower, because it's like the possibilities are endless. Just like like turn into a butterfly or an ant and become invisible. You know, sometimes I don't. I don't know. I think that like my most relatable character is like the player character, you know, like the Tarnished and the Ashen One and the Hunter. Like I just feel like so just I don't know, the FromSoft games are the one I feel the most like these characters, you know what I mean? I feel like I can relate to the retribution arc, you know, of trying to be like, I don't care how many times I respawn or how many times I fall down, like I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna try again, you know, that persistence, that perseverance, I believe, you know, it feels a lot
that
like
analogy.
yeah, it feels a lot like that. But okay, so we have officially reached the time. I appreciate everybody so much for, again, y'all have been so patient with me and thank you for taking the time to do everything from, you know, like the tech checks and everything in between. Like I know that everybody is so stinking busy, and so whenever you take the time out of your day to come in and you know, help me set this stuff up, especially with my knowledge base and Jess, all the extra stuff you did with the you know, with helping with the tech stuff. I just wanted to say thank you so much, and I hope that y'all. Oh, I hope that y'all enjoyed yourselves. In chat, make sure that you follow everybody on the screen there. We have going from this side, my right, to yours left. We have OhLindsey, JessCapricorn, Pixi, and PaigeTheWitch. And if y'all wouldn't mind, again, just giving a quick blurb about who you are, what you do, where we can find you. Let's start with Paige this time.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can find me here like I don't know, most days of the week here on Twitch, as well as like YouTube. I stream like late nights, you know, of course, stream some Souls games and a lot of different just RPGs and story-based games. So, thank you again for having me. It's been great.
Yay! And what about you, Pixi?
Well, you could find me obviously here on Twitch. I'm trying to become more active on my YouTube as well. I've been putting up a lot of like my challenge run boss takedowns and stuff, and some let's plays I was doing with Lies of P. And I'm relatively active on Twitter and Instagram as well. And I typically stream during the week, sometimes earlier in the morning Eastern Standard Time, and sometimes at night. But thank you so much for having me. This was such a blast. I had so much fun.
I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for participating. Honestly, it's such a joy. And what about you, Jess?
Yes, my dog is making faces and sounds at me because she's ready to eat dinner. I'm Jess. I stream most weeknights, Central Time. I do a lot of Soulsborne, a lot of Final Fantasy. I focus a lot on inclusion, enthusiasm, uh, all that jazz. And yeah, I post on TikTok, YouTube, whatever else. But yeah, mostly I'm live on Twitch weeknights.
You're so cool. It says Bats, you're so cool. Thank you so much. What about you, Lindsay?
Yeah, I'm OhLindsey here on Twitch. I stream weekdays at noon Central, so I'm a daytime streamer. I play lots of Souls games, and I love anything with a good story. So if you've got any good story games that you think I should play, let me know. My favorite is Red Dead Redemption 2. And yeah, I don't post on YouTube yet, but that's my goal for the year.
Let's
is to post
go.
on YouTube. So maybe someday I'll do that. But yeah, thank you so much for
will.
having me. Thanks for putting this together. I know it's hard to wrangle so many different people, so I really appreciate all the patience with so many different schedules.
This was great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh no, it's awesome. It's honestly an honor because I just dream of people getting to experience the same things I do. And whenever we can get, like I said, I always feel like a broken record, but when we can get so many strong women together at the same time and talking about our authentic experiences and how much love we have for the games, being a woman in gaming, raising money for a good cause, like this is all the stuff that I love to do. So I am so entirely grateful for your presence and your time in chat. Thank you so much for coming and showing support to these amazing creators. Please be sure to stick around. We do have a group 3 coming up, and after we have a Fashion Souls fashion show showdown. So everybody say bye to all these amazing guests. I'm going to go to my just chatting screen for just a second while we go over a little bit of information about the charity. Say bye, y'all.
Bye.
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 Great job, everyone.